engagement at the wholesale and retail sector. I hope we all know about the WNR SETA. It's quite exciting to see a lot of our beneficiaries, people who have actually been part of our programs here in this space. As we are making history today, and I'm saying so because this is the very, very first time that the WNR SETA is hosting a session specifically with SMMEs. So you guys are making history, and I think you can give yourselves a round of applause. So as the SETA, for one of the important things that we do, that we prioritize as an organization is stakeholder engagement. So on an annual basis, we have a program whereby our CEO goes around the country engaging with different companies, our partners that we work with, institutions of learning, because we want to hear from you in terms of what are the things that we should be doing as the SETA to make sure that skills development is a reality in the wholesale and retail sector. So, but for the very first time, the CEO said he would like to get into a room. He would like to have a very robust discussion and an engagement with small businesses, because you guys move the economy. So for those who do not know, the wholesale and retail sector, which is the sector that we service as the WNR SETA, comprises of over 80% SMMEs. So that is quite a huge number. You are actually our biggest stakeholders. So it just makes sense that we get into a room and talk to you. But another reason why we had to do this is because we run different programs. I know that, as I've indicated, that's people who have been benefited from our different programs. Some have gone through, I know there are two ladies who were part of our project in Kenya. There are two ladies as well who have been part of our shelf readiness program, where we assist SMMEs to be ready to sell their products in retail stores. So as much as we run all of these programs and a whole lot of others on an annual basis, this is based on the research that we do as the SETA. It's based on our ideas as well. But it's quite important that we come and hear from you. You need to tell us where are the challenges. You need to tell us what are the solutions, most importantly. So that is what today's event is about. We are here to have an engagement. Our CEO is here to listen to you. He's here to hear you. Tell him what is the mandate that you are giving to the WNR SETA to say this is how the WNR SETA can grow the SMME sector. So without wasting any more time, let me quickly introduce our CEO, Mr. Tom Mkwanazi. CEO. Thank you so much, sir. We know that you are quite busy, and we do appreciate that you've taken this time this morning to come and just engage with our colleagues here. Then we also have our facilitator. So we had to get someone that I know is a very familiar face. Those who are in the SMME sector, when you are going into a whole lot of different events around SMMEs, you know this face. He's the chief entrepreneur. He's Mr. Get Things Done. He always wears this cap that says get things done, because that's just what he does. He gets things done. He is the founder of the Township Economy Alliance, and he is quite an activist. So he is one person who is absolutely passionate about entrepreneurship, particularly in the townships, and that is Mr. Bulelani Balabala. Okay. So he is going to be facilitating all the conversations that we are going to be having, and I will be sitting here because I need to take a whole lot of notes, and so that as you give the CEO the mandate, as you tell him in terms of what should the WNR SETA be doing, I'll be taking all of those notes so that we can take your ideas back to our organization and see which ones we will be able to implement. So we're quite excited for all of you who are in the room. But we are also live on Facebook, we are also on YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. So we've got quite a lot of other people who are engaging. So Bulelana, I'm sure we'll be able to also just give them an opportunity to also engage, because not everyone could obviously make it into this room, because other people are joining from different parts of the country. So, but they will also be part of this engagement. So with that, I hope I've not left anything. I now need to hand over to you. Is that all right? Great stuff.
Round of applause. Okay, I can't really use the podium. How's everyone doing namhlanje ekseni? So we've got a roving mic, right, around the room, and I want to ask everyone, what are your expectations? Why are you here? Do you have a mic? Anyone, any takers? Because you are here, I'm going to ask you anyway. Why are you here?
Me.
Yeah, you. You, the young, beautiful lady, you. Why are you here? What are your expectations?
I think she'll answer on my behalf. My expectations, I struggle to understand what WRCTA does for skills development, so I just want to get to better understanding of that.
I love that, thank you. Let's pick someone else, a random person down the line. I appreciate that. And guys, another thing is there's no right and there's no wrong. Because you know, the beautiful thing about this particular question as we go to the next person is this. Oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we attend things and we participate in things as corporate, as professionals and as stakeholders. But sometimes we participate in them from an assumptive perspective. So in order for us to walk out of here with full beneficiation, it works out amazingly well so that you hear it from the horse's mouth. But sometimes when you are sent out a survey and they ask you, what are your expectations? You take on the posture of someone who wants to position themselves in the right way. But there's no right and wrong. Let's engage. Our next person.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia. I'm from First Light Import and Export. I'm here today because I would like to see how WRCTA can advance my business from where it is at the moment.
So what does your business do?
We do sanitary pads, disposable sanitary pads.
Where do you operate from?
So currently I have a large manufacturer that's manufacturing it for us.
Okay.
So basically what we do is they package the product for us. We're looking at manufacturing our own product and obviously starting our own, to manufacture our own range of products.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
That's fine.
You must choose there.
Yeah, after here it will be that.
But you must also hit this row. We must not run away. I see some nervous people. Normally nervous people are the ones with the right answers.
Morning everybody, my name is Nomfundo from MBK Hair. We manufacture essential oil. I'm currently selling on Takealot and my product is moving. I just want to know, how do I commercialize? How do I get into the shelves and make everybody excited about this essential oil, because everybody has been using moisturizer and everything. So there's something called that is very unique. It's a rosemary essential oil. It's booming for hair growth, hairline. It's amazing. Thank you.
Wait. So how did you get on to Takealot? Did they come to you? Did you find the buyers? Did you email them?
Okay, I normally go to seminars. There was a seminar in Sandton, which is proudly South African, and I always carry my products, and I explain to them, this is my products, we manufacture ourselves, and also I'm part of CEDA as well, and they said quality check of the product, and the reviews of the product. They were excited, I was excited, and we started selling there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person, still on this row. My lady, still on this row. We're ignoring this row. There's just one person, pick here. From this row, then we'll come there, then we'll come this way, we'll come this way, then we run. Just one.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Colleagues, my name is Fumu. We are doing different things, but specifically here, I'm here, number one, to get the knowledge, because I believe knowledge is power. And then the second
No,
one.
you're cheating me. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Because you never know, maybe there might be someone here who might
Yeah,
say,
no,
I want you to supply me.
No, we are doing different things. Sure. We are, in actual fact, we are big in construction.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm here is that we are also embarking on distributing of dry products,
Oh, nice.
like rice, beans,
Yes.
and things like that.
Yes.
So that is actually the reason why I'm here, because we are embarking on the distribution of those dry goods.
Are they your own goods or the logistics part?
No, we are gonna be, we are buying them and distributing them.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
so the idea of Take a Lot and Amazon and all these online platforms is also something which I thought SETA, WRN SETA, can zoom in and find a way of how they can empower people to be selling their products on those online platforms,
commerce
because
platforms.
that's the way to go.
No, I hear you. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Milady. And then this is our last for this side. We'll do to this side, for this side. We wrap it up. We kick off with our program. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Twarelo. I'm from 4GY, Forgiveness Footwear. We do beautiful sneakers. Why I'm here, I've got Bulelani Balabala's order. I'm here to deliver. So I'll just show you his order.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have to love entrepreneurs, eh?
This is what he ordered from us. This is what we do. This is our own brand, Forgiveness Footwear. You can check out on all social media platforms. As an entrepreneur, you always take opportunity of such. But another thing is just to also inform myself more about SETA, and so we can also hold them accountable where the opportunities are. We always seek opportunities. If you don't spot red cars in the morning, you'll never see them. But if you tell yourself you want to see red cars, you will see all of them. So, Bulelani, your order is order, and I've got my point with me, sorry.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
see you during the break.
But before you hand over the mic, just give us a bit of a concept.
Yeah, and also I'm a proud supporter of tea. So, yeah.
Is your business model B2B? So are you primarily looking at the individuals here to procure the goods? Or do you have a B2B model where you are able to say to a WRCTA, I see you guys have got 500 employees, we could make it in your corporate colors and put a WRCTA on there, then you guys could redistribute. Or maybe a B2B model where we could brand them your way, but you redistribute to all the retail guys that you've supported within the program.
Yeah, for the time being is B2C.
Okay.
B2B is coming. We also started a program where we support students, especially in varsity, where we allow them to resell our products so they can have some bit of money. Because we all know, when I was in varsity, I didn't have money for food and stuff like that. We're not coming from the same background. So there's a lot of opportunities that we're creating and doing things differently. I don't want to give away a lot, but there is a B2B that we're looking at it, which requires a lot of capital. That's where an investment opportunities also arise as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Milady, let's get two from this frontal section here. Maybe we'll do the back row, the front row, then we'll move to this row on my right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gugu Koza, founder of Honey's Beauty Hub. So basically, Honey's Beauty Hub, we manufacture skincare products, hair care products. We give services as well. We do your nails, your makeup, your braiding, and all that sort of stuff. So today I came to have an engagement with the CEO. I'm a WRCTA beneficiary. So there's actually, after being in their programs, we went back to the hood. We actually implemented what we've learned, and then we pick up some few things that we would like to share with the CEO, because we want to actually drive the change. So we would like to share with the CEO, this is what we've picked up, and these are the problems that we're facing, and then we think these are the realistic solutions for the problem.
So since you say that you're a beneficiary, I mean, what has been the success since you got whatever beneficiary, whether it was learning or whatever it is? How did that shape either your thinking, your business, your resources, your sales?
You know, last year, August, we went to Kenya to actually absorb how they trade, how they do their business. We actually got to understand that, I always say we South Africans, we are trust fund babies. And it's okay to be a trust fund baby, because it simply means someone worked, and thank you to the likes of Nelson Mandela and them. They worked hard for us to be trust fund babies.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that we do not know. And we are privileged enough that we have government that cares about us. In the other countries, you just have to be an entrepreneur, you know.
Yeah.
We as South Africans, we think that the government has to provide jobs for us, of which the job is here, you know. Create the job for
but I want
yourself,
to catch you because you're going to be on our
Okay,
panel later
you.
on. I don't want to, spoiler alert. Thank you. you so much, Gugu, for that. Let's get our next one. This front row here, where there's a red bucket hat, he looks like he's very eager. He wants to really talk to me. The red bucket hat. No, the red bucket hat wants to talk to me. The red bucket hat really wants to talk to me. I'm kidding. Thank you so much, my brother.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Neville Ngadimeng. My company, or our company, is Terrestrial Empire P2 Ltd. We produce sauces, hot sauces, terrestrial pepper sauce. It's our sauce. I'm sorry, I forgot the samples now. I was just checking them in the car. So I came under FBA, Formalized Business Association. So they are the ones who have been helping us with other programs like your workshops and everything, so that we can at least have some form of knowledge onto how we can best operate our businesses. So I came with my other colleagues. They operate other businesses like your formal spaza shops locally. So FBA has been assisting us to organize ourselves for this kind of platforms. So we are here at WRC to meet the CEO so that we can find out what is it exactly that the CEO can do for the people, and what is it that the people can do for the CEO, so that they can work together to progress this situation that we find ourselves in as South Africans. So yeah, thank you very much. That's all that I have to say about why we are here.
But just before you sit down, sir, I mean, you mentioned FBA as an enabler. What is FBA? Who's FBA? How do we get in touch with FBA?
So FBA, I've got my
yeah, you see, now you are tested, because they're looking at you thinking,
no, but
is he gonna tell
okay.
us the right thing?
Sharp, let me put it like this. FBA is a organization that basically helps small businesses. It identifies small businesses and helps them to be in a position where they can best receive some form of assistance from this kind of institutions, because the compliance part and everything, those things, not every one of us has knowledge of it. So it's organizations like FBA that make it possible for individuals like us to have some form of light to understand what is it exactly that we must have in place, so that we can be taken serious and our businesses can be taken serious by the institutions that are supposed to help them improve.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much, my brother. I think you've done FBA extremely well, and I'm assuming the representative from FBA are here.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in the room, want to know more about FBA, please just wave your hand. Because you see, when you've got amazing enablers in the room that are doing amazing stuff for SMEs, you must know where they are. So that sometimes, you know, if you know, information is such an important catalyst, because when you don't know what you need to know, that could be the difference between your growth, your failure. And that's the potency of information. Thank you. So FBA is right here. We can engage them. My lady, this side. I thought we're doing two more, and then two more, then right. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Here's
no, it's fine. Is it because
no,
I'm wearing a grey suit?
No, it's yeah, what?
No, it's okay. I'll wear
it's because you look
tomorrow.
better in a suit, and I couldn't get a suit. I'm kidding.
It was mandatory. Occupational hazard. I'm actually wearing two hats today. So the first hat is from my employer, which is LabourNet, because I understand from an SMME standpoint of view, there might be challenges that the sector requires in terms of compliancy, and I'm coming through. The second hat is basically from my own company standpoint of view, which is COD Easy Pay. It's basically a payment gateway platform for people that wants to sell on e-commerce. A Lerato who's selling shoes or oils might not have the market share report. So when you give your clients an opportunity to say, okay, purchase my products but pay for them on delivery, people are more reluctant to say, okay, let me buy, because they're not buying and not knowing whether the items are going to arrive or not. What I realized is that from a South African market, I haven't really gotten any intake, but more from international guys. So I'm talking to people in Canada that wants to sell in South Africa, don't really have a footprint. So maybe there's the platform for me to determine where the gap is, so I can get the Batu shoes to actually buy in. I didn't get your name.
Yeah,
Maybe for
4G.
you to actually get people to buy your shoes, because now you're saying, here's my product, but pay for it upon delivery. People are more inclined to say, okay, let me try it out, versus to, I don't know where it's coming from. What if they never arrive? So that's the two heads. So I'm hoping to actually get line of sight of that. And basically also to nitpick to WNRC Tabut. There was an initiative for SLOs a couple of years back, but I'm sure, by show of hands, the SMMEs that are sitting here have never met an SLO. Is that an initiative that needs to be reviewed? Or the peoples that were appointed on that, they need to be reviewed, because they're not actually getting to the guys on the ground.
Thank you so much. Then let's just get two here, then we're done. Just a random. What's the cloak over? I'm going to fire you from the mic. But no, give them. And then we'll just do one more, and then two, then we run. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and
Thank
greetings
you.
to everyone in the room. My name is Jabulani Zwane from Formalized Business Alliance. Thanks, Nelvin introduced us. So just to be short, my expectation is to come out of this room with an idea of what WNRC program is in terms of career guidance, because I am not too sure if we are training or identifying and inculcating entrepreneurship to our kids at a young age. So I want to know what WNRC is doing in terms of career guidance. And we've been working with WNRC for quite a while. We also want to know what is their new training mechanisms that will deliver training in a practical way, that it can integrate the past experience of the SMMEs with the new information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Nyabong. Thank you. No. Yeah, you can do that side. Yeah, just pick anyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, my lady.
My name is Konima Tejwani. I'm an owner and an employee of CRM Enterprise. We are branding specialists. I'm here because I get Shoni, but I think the promo industry might fall within this sector, because I've been searching all of them. I don't see where the promo products and branding falls in terms of the cities.
Well, what type of branding do you guys do?
So we do promotional products, we brand
Okay,
on
okay.
clothing, we do banners, we do signage and all those kind of things.
Yeah. No, I think.
So because we are resellers, I think maybe we might fall here, but I can show.
Yeah, I think you might fall here, but your customers are all in the room.
Yes.
Whereas they manufacture
Yes,
products that need
please.
labeling.
Yeah,
and
we
sometimes
brand
the
your
labeling is
branding.
hanging by a thread. So I think if you can give insights whenever we get to the networking on that, that would be, thank you so much for that. Anyone on this side, any takers, Then we just do two,
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Mkolisi. I'm from Konala Local Stores. Basically, Konala is a network of township retail stores put together under one brand, which is Konala. And that includes the value chain of those stores. And those stores, they include home-based tuck shops, what you call spazas, the corner shops, the grocery. We are now adding fruit and veg, butcheries, DIY hardware, and very soon we'll have coffee shops. Our value chain, talks to local businesses that assist in the value chain, assist those stores. And the reason why I'm here is specifically around our value chain. Our value chain include SMME manufacturers who want to list products on those stores and on our shelves, and we're making the circle bigger in case they don't get to list with the big retailers. but we also have the graduate program for the marketing and business studies students who live in those areas. They get recruited to be part of our shopper marketing team. And the shopper marketing team, they get to be trained as store reps, as the activations team, as well as the merchandisers. And this is where I'd like to engage with the CETA, specifically around these, these students, as well as our manufacturers in that space. So looking forward to engagements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's get our, oh, okay, it's you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. May I please ask you to stand, because we're streaming live, so that the guys who are on the live can see how handsome you are. Thank you, sir. The floor is yours.
Okay, good morning, colleagues. My name is Temba Denchauke from TYS Business, and I'm also a member of Township Entrepreneurs Alliance. Why I'm here, I want to align my business with the Well Setter, because we do a lot of work with young people between Tembis and Sunspread. So what basically we do, we manufacture body sprays. So the first week of August or second, we are launching a new one called Shiluva that was designed, mixed by locals. So that's why we're here. And then we'll also have a B2B model where we assist other entrepreneurs with marketing, sales, and distribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last person here. Any enthusiasts? The gentleman in front, then we move on. And a big thank you to all those that have stood up and shared. It takes a lot of courage to stand in front of people, you know, the nerves and the jitters. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nane Mbele. I come from the organization called NAFRED, which is an affiliate to NAFCOC. So the reason for me to come and attend this workshop is that we want to partner with WNR CETA in order to roll out some of our programs in the entire Gauteng. Currently, I'm the chairperson of NAFRED in Gauteng, but it's a national body which is affiliated to NAFCOC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's just give everyone who bravely shared their stories a big round of applause, right? You know, I think, you know, my biggest thing is always to say it's important, I guess, when you're a business owner, whenever the opportunity comes up and you're in a room with individuals, to share your story and ask as many questions as possible. But what that does, that moment, that spotlight moment does, it gives you an unhindered moment for you to engage in a plot that positions you. So, you know, it then becomes important to see when you're attending any event where you're going to be spending your time, because your time is the most, the most important equitable asset that you will ever have or even disperse of, that you go in there with intention. You know, you go in there with intention, and the intention to say, I'm here to learn, I'm here to know, I'm here to meet, and you openly put yourself out there. You know, if there's one beautiful thing that I love, is that there's no one you'll give, whether they were shy or not, whether they stood up or not, there's no one you'll give a mic to in this room who doesn't have ambitions, but also there's not kept those ambitions locked up in a bottle, but who doesn't have something that they're working on. Which then says and speaks to the fact that we don't necessarily lack in terms of creating. We've got the ability to create stuff. You know, sometimes, like I said earlier on, is the information. That's a catalyst, because when I have the information, I now know that, oh, okay, so if I've got this product and you listed on Take a Lot, I need to do 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so there's such a thing as a B2B, B2C. What is that? Oh, okay, so I can go to the guys at FBA and engage them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe get some compliance readiness. Oh, okay, so I can engage this forum that is on this side and engage them. So that's why then it becomes very important that you always engage. But, you know, sometimes what we do then as business owners is that we don't engage because we hold off on sharing the story. And there's one thing that we need to take into cognizance. everyone here has a unique story. Everyone here has a unique story. So when you build your own brand and you're taking it to market, right, and you're taking it to broad scale market, that market is going to buy that product particularly under the guise of affinity. So that brand has to have affinity, that story has to sell to me, that I need to be engaged with that particular story. But the biggest challenge is, if you infuse your brand with your story, you'll gain eyes. But if someone else makes the loudest noise, they've got share of voice, and a larger share of voice. So if your story was that we're the number one, or we're the township we're the Atteridgeville's number one, Chakalaka, or we are Tembisa's best or we are the township Jakokai footwear or shoes or houses or whatever. But the moment someone makes a louder noise in the market with that, then they've taken up the share of voice, which means any space where you find yourself in, share your story. Don't hold back. You know, because sometimes when we think of sharing our story, especially when we're in settings like this, we think, you know, we definitely judge books by their covers. So you look at the room and you undersize yourself and you think, what if I say this wrong and what if I say this wrong? Well, if you've said it wrong, then it was a great opportunity for you to learn how not to ever say it again. Because the very antithesis of retail, which is predominantly what everyone here is the space that they're in, but quite in majority, everyone is in the operations or the space of business. So it means that you are enterprising. And you can't be enterprising without having the ability to sell. So you need to be able to sell your product. But someone says, yo, Abuti, I can't wait to make enough money to hire someone to help me with sales. If you're hiring someone to help you with sales, you don't have a business. Because no one will ever sell like you. And then someone says, but I'll hire a business development manager and I'll have a business development team and they're hitting numbers like your 100 million, but you are the one who's taking the plot. Because they're selling, they're able to sell that way on the base of the visionary. And the visionary is you. And when you are consistently able to breathe that into your teams are able to run with that effort. Why? Because the entrepreneur's job, primarily in the long, is to break out of the technical mode. The moment you break out of the technical mode and you stay in the entrepreneurial mode and the management mode, then you're in a good space. So okay, maybe let me break that down. So there's a book by a gentleman called Mark Gerber. Talks about the E-Myth. A great book, read it. It's going to change your entrepreneurial journey. So what the E-Myth talks about is, it narrates a story of a frustrated entrepreneur who started their business because of the passion. But in reality, the passion that gets us into the business is never enough to sustain a business. So you started selling amagwinya because everyone told you where you were working, which you know you are the best. You are the one holding this business together. Then you decide a couple of months later, you know what, forget them, I'm going to go start this business. Then then it hits you, you know, like a cinder block or a ton of blocks or a big bag of cement. Now I need to be a salesperson. I need to be an accountant. I need to be the driver. I need to sit in this session, but I'm still answering WhatsApp group calls with clients and with the team members. And then there's a driver who decided not to go to Pretoria. He's gone to Joburg because he misheard the township he needs to go to. Now you want to be here and then maintain professionalism, because all of those things then take away from the passion that drove you in. So what that then helps you, it helps you with the concept of being aware of that. But over and above that, it then helps you understand what the three main compartments of business operations are. Number one is technical mode. What is technical mode? You are an amazing mechanic. You are good at making bags. You are good at mixing the archer. You are good at making your pads. You are good at making the shoe. You are good at developing the type of IP that gets people saying wow and people wanting to buy into that. That is technical. And a big part of technical is the fact that it's replicable. It's just we then choose not to replicate it because we always think that no one will do it better than us. So what is replicable? If you put basic steps next to it, anyone else would be able to render that particular service. And then the second part is managerial. What is managerial? Managerial is a supervisory role, either of your internal teams or your internal or your external independent contractors, as well as your suppliers or anyone else who's supplying goods to you for your end consumer, whether that consumer is business to business, which is B2B, or is business to customer, which is B2C. And then the last one, which is the entrepreneurial mode. Where's the entrepreneurial mode? Where you're consistently prospecting. So who are our leads and where should we go? Who are the next clients that we then need to be working or funneling or looking after? Because the biggest challenge with that is, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but in my 18-year entrepreneurial journey, years ago, I picked this up. So we work, we go, we network, we get business. The moment we get business, our heads are down, we are making the product. We are no longer focusing on getting business, on entrepreneurial work, which is getting business. The moment that order has been delivered, we look up, there's no order anymore. Then now we need to stop again and go out again and look for more business. Then we look for more business. When we look for more business, we're operating in the entrepreneurial element. The moment we then pause and we get the order, we are now stuck in the technical mode. We are the ones delivering, or delivering. And in actual fact, they are yes. But what then becomes very important is that we need to then put a stake in. What is the stake in? A stake in the ground, a stake in of discipline. A stake in of discipline that says, every single day I'm going to take 30 minutes or an hour, depending on your schedule. I'm going to take a certain number of hours or time every single day to fulfill the entrepreneurial ambitions. What is that? So if you're taking out 30 minutes, then you're disciplined enough to say, I'm going to make a pre-list of people that I'm going to reach out to who are prospects. And then I'm going to make a second list where I'm following up with already existing customers. Why? Because the cost of customer acquisition is extremely high when you're looking for a new customer, as opposed when you already have someone who said, I'm contributing R1. The reason why that market of individual becomes potent for you is that you do not need to go onto ChatGPT or any other platforms or Google or go to a mentor and ask them who are my actual customers, because anyone who's committed any monetary value to your business becomes a great springing board for that person to give you feedback for the growth of your business. So that then becomes essential, so that we don't run businesses because you almost see them in financials. In May, 500 Rand or 500,000. In June, 2 Rand. In July, 600,000. And then it goes quiet for the next few months, so that you're consistently putting yourself out there in the market. So that's why we see when we start engagements like this and say, what is your expectation? Abuti, I'm not expecting anything, but I just wanted to tell everyone, including the CEO, my name is Tandi, my shoes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a plot. We've already set everyone in the room so that you can tell us what you are doing. So it's important for you to consistently put yourself out there in the market all the time. But you know, talking about the wholesale and retail sector, and I guess the entrepreneurial space across the board, I mean, you sort of look at data, right? And it's quite interesting enough when we run our surveys or our research, our white papers on a year-to-year basis. You know, we ran one the previous year. You know, the top industries that consistently keep coming up is retail. Because like I see, is retail. Spice Amakota, you know, we are retailing stuff and we're pushing products out. Those were the industries that also, to a degree, were most affected by, you know, your lockdowns and are still affected wherever it's prevalent. Because it might not necessarily be prevalent as lockdown directly, but it continues to be lack of infrastructure in one way or another. But you know, the entrepreneurial resilience is such a beautiful thing. And someone, someone says, maybe it could also be a trauma response because we have worked in such hostile environments that we know how to navigate, but you're forced to be good. That is the archetype of being a successful entrepreneur in whatsoever space that you are in. But when you sort of look at the fact that, there's over 1.8 million informal businesses, in actual fact, they're not informal. They're the most formal and sophisticated network of individuals in terms of operation when you actually look at how they actually operate, right? But this is data from 2019. And then you almost look at, there's over 680 small businesses that are registered, 80,000 small businesses that are registered with CIPC, notwithstanding the amount of drop-offs, deregistrations, and the ones that fall off. Which means that when you utilize that as a short benchmark, or a 60% benchmark of the actual market, because the actual market is much larger than that, which means you as an individual, if you want to gain market share, you need to go to where the markets actually are and where trade actually takes place. Because on the other hand, when we engage with corporate South Africa, whenever I engage the mass market saying, how do we get them on our platform? Whenever we engage with Takealot, they say, how do we get them on our platform? We don't know where to find them. But when we're talking on this side, the reality is totally different. The reality is, I've been trying to get these things. So what then becomes a very potent part, and I'll share more, I've got data for days and days and days, man. I've got data, you sort of look at the hotel and retail sector, it contributes, about 12.5% of the GDP, which is extensive when you sort of look at contribution across the multi-sector, whether it's vehicle sales, automotive, and other industries all across the board, right? And then you sort of look at, the amount of jobs that are being created within this sector, which pans all the way to your 20% of the sort across the board. And then you then look at the data that was being shared a little bit earlier on by Martha, talking about how, you know, the SMEs contribute extensively an impactful role in their department, in their company, in their agency. You guys contribute 80% of the constituents of the people that you should be working towards, which means that it then becomes very important and potent for us to stick our heads out consistently. For us to stick our heads out consistently. So the mindset that we have, and the mindset that says, I'm going to focus on certain things and negate certain things, is the wrong mindset. I can tell you that because when I started my business years ago, that's the mindset I had. It was a mindset that says, yes, I know for a fact I'm chasing a debt ratio, because majority of us are in debt and majority of us are blacklisted, but I'm going to focus all of my energies on that. But you can't. You need to be, we need to be very pragmatic and practical with our days. So yes, I'm in debt, I'm going to go wash the neighbor's car next door so that while my business is at teka. But there are certain pillars and things that I'm going to consistently do each and every day so that I navigate my entrepreneurial journey in the right way. So as we will be unpacking today's conversation and engaging, understand one critical thing. The most important person in this room is the person sitting next to you. If you had any other agenda or any other thoughts, you've got it wrong. The most important person sitting next to you, the most important person in the room is the person sitting next to you. Why? Because that person could be a catalyst for you going to certain markets. That person is sitting with information that you might not even have because they've ran a different journey from you. So never undermine the person next to you and for whatever reason. The second thing that I will ask is engage with as many people as you can in the room. Then my third biggest request and ask before I call my panel, we'll do a nice Q&A, they'll introduce themselves and the sort. Then my third biggest request would be, and I love what the gentleman said earlier on, the best way to ask for help is how can I help you? Yes, CEO, there's so many things that we don't like this, but also, how can we help you in the things we don't like? How can we help you in the things that you actually like, and what is your agenda? How do we help you get to where you need to go? You know, and over the years I've seen so many, I've made that mistake as well. No one owes me any help. You know, that's the mindset that we need to adopt, because what that mindset does, it keeps us humble. Even when we know that we are entitled to help, it keeps us humble to how we navigate that help. Which means, if you are looking for someone who's supposed to be helping you, saying to them, please help me, is the same email that they got for 500 or 800 other people. So if I'm Bulelani here and I'm saying, no, Jabu, please help me. You guys' job is to help me, help me, help me, help me. There are 800 or 10,000 other people that are asking for the exact same thing, that are positioning their emails in the exact same fashion. But when someone changes that engagement in totality and says, but how can we help you guys advance? That means that individual is not just a custodian. That individual becomes a partner and a stakeholder. That individual is saying, I'm willing to walk the journey with you. So if ever you were identifying anyone that you wanted to work with, a company that you wanted to work with, then you must apply that particular model. How can I help you guys? How can I help you guys? How can I help you guys move forward? Understand this last point. It has got nothing to do with anything, but I'll throw this in. Right? So there's something called the diversion tactic. So I've been writing a book for the past 6 years. This book I pay, because I write, I work. I forget about the book, I come back and I work. But there's this thing, and it's a concept that you know, it's just that I called it a diversion tactic. So I want to do work for CCBSA, which is Coca-Cola. But they won't give me the time of day because who am I? Tandy, bottling business, we're not going to entertain you. You're not going to help us with anything. They're not going to give me the time of day, right? So I need to understand a couple of things. Number one, who's the leader in that category? It's CCBSA, which is Coke. Then number two, who's the challenger? What is a challenger? A challenger brand. A challenger brand is the one who's next in line, who's number two, or who's fighting for that market share. And then number three, I need to ask myself, who are all the other brands, cascades, of all the same brands who are within the same sector? And the word brand, I'm utilizing it as a sort of broad scale. You can utilize this in the context of business, in the context of customers. So I then apply this model. If I go to them, they won't recognize me and see me. I'll have to prove too much to them because there's a trust deficit. They don't know me. So if they turn me down, I then need to identify a PepsiCo and say to PepsiCo, listen, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm willing to volunteer some of my time to help you guys in some of the things that you do. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I will take that and I'll put that to my resume and go back to CCPSA and say, you know, we've been operating for the past 5 years. We've actually done work for companies like PepsiCo and companies like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The moment I say PepsiCo, it was never about you. The problem is that we make it about us. It's never about you. But sometimes you're selling to people that don't care about you. They don't care about you. They care about their bottom line. Why? Because they've got their own KPIs. So when I speak to the KPI, so my KPI is, you know, PepsiCo won the taste battle years ago. That destabilized us in the African market. And they gained African market share because we slept a little bit. So we are seeing them tailing us on our heels and they want to eat up some of my market share. So if there's a supplier who says that they've done stuff for them, I will work with them so that I get to pay them to do stuff for us and ask them in the corners of our boardrooms, what were you doing for them and how do we make it better than them? Understand the game, play the game. We understand the game, we play the game. We understand the game, we play the game, because sometimes we create products because they are good for you. But it's not creating the product because it's good for you. It's creating the product because you understand what the market wants. Give people what they want. That is why more thing is, so if I'm running your business, my last thing, and then we move on, because I'm cool. But my last thing is this. If you're running a business, it doesn't matter how big it is. Anyone who's bought a product from you, have their name, surname, number, and email address. But someone says, but I'm selling veggies, Kirana's Plaza Shop, Kokasi. Have their name, have their number. If their surname is too much information, name, number. If email is too much information, name and number. And then what do? You go back every single night, you ask your sister, your cousin, your girlfriend, your husband, whoever's got free time, every day when I save these numbers and send thank you messages via WhatsApp because the bandwidth and data is extremely low. And then you add them into a broadcast group. Then every time once a month, you don't spam them. Then every time once a month, you send them a message. Hi, this is Cindy's Plaza Shop. I just wanted to know because you know, they're going to Holland and then all the stuff. This particular time, please note that we've got 1, 2 packages that they can come buy from us. Because then you will rethink what the customer is and how we engage with the customer. So there are certain concepts that are big business concepts. No, there are no big business concepts. That's the mindset that we need to disrupt. They are concepts in general. But they look like big business concepts because they are preceded and they are aligned to big systems. But every big system can be dumbed down into a practical tool that can help you to run a lean, efficient, and operational business. And that's how you scale your sales. That's how you scale your growth. That's how you scale within the retail space and every single sector and get people buying and consuming your product because you are understanding the market. And then on top of that, these then become amazing stakeholders for your business. Why? Because they are helping you to position your business. Because these are individuals that you're asking for help. Which then, under everything I've said, is underpinned by one thing. It's the very premise of today's engagement. To say, we're having this CEO's engagement. And I think Martha touched on it too, with a CEO who could have been doing other things. And who could have operated under the guise of saying, but I've got various department heads and various individuals who are heading up different things, but I'm not doing that. I want to engage with other CEOs who are in this room today. So that I actually hear from the horse's mouth and not through intermediaries. What is going on and how can you help us and how can we help you so that we understand, and then let's be practical about things that we can actually do. And things we won't do, but we appreciate that we have that information. It's going to be a pin in the wall so that in our next engagement we unpack how far we've come in that engagement. So that same model you take back to the customer. Why? Because feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. You know, the one over and above all the risk and challenges you face across your business, the one question you need to be asking yourself every day when you wake up is, what am I doing to stand in the way of the growth of my business? Because sometimes you need to fire yourself. You know, fire yourself from blocking the business every day. Because it's easy to be in a position where you assume that everyone is the problem but you. But when you start to ask that question and be honestly answer that question, you realize that sometimes I'm the one who's maybe standing in the way of the growth of my business. Because I'm not following up, I'm not coming back to clients, I'm not jumping on the business that I need to work because I want to do everything by myself. So I hope that was a little bit valuable. And I hope I'm pitchforking you because as we go, so what we're going to jump into now, right? We're going to jump into our some of the amazing entrepreneurs that were supported by WRCTA, But over and above that, this is then pitching the conversation to, our dialogue. When you sort of look at the program, number 3 there, immediately after that, we jump onto the hurdles. What are the hurdles that we're faced with across the board? And then that's also an amazing learning moment. Share as much as you can, because you might find that the hurdle that you are speaking about and you've crossed, there's something that someone is struggling with that we could all help each other within the room. So that is to sort of set the tone for the running of the day, and then you sort of look at 2.3 and what are some of the opportunities, because it would be amiss to not talk about some of the opportunities, because challenges will always be there in various forms, but opportunities are equally there wherever challenges are. Let's unpack what those engagements are. So I'd like to now, please just give them beautiful energy and a big round of applause as I call up their names. Oh, we are practicing. Okay, round of applause. So I'm now going to call up Tobeka Nondabula, the founder of Zazi's Products. Tobeka. Then, guys, just as Tobeka comes, let's give her a round of applause and I'll give you the format. So just to give you an idea to all the panelists that are going to come up, thank you, you're looking beautiful. So what we're going to do with the format is Tobeka will come up, the next one will come up. So once you're done, we'll give you some time, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You talk about your business, you talk about the journey, you talk about the support, how it's helping you grow. Then you'll grab a seat wherever you're comfortable. Then I'll call up the next, then we'll say, then I'll be asking you guys questions, then we'll open it up to the floor. Then that is going to be our setup for our next engagements. Dabulela, thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause again.
Wow, good morning. Good morning. Sanbonani. Ninjani. Siyaphila. Ngithanda ukubingelela uCEO, Smme, and the leadership at WNR and the entire house. Osingabo entrepreneurs, I normally say entrepreneurs are eagles. We do not flock. We climb or we fly. My name is Tobeka Ndabula. I am the founder and the CEO of Zazi's Productions. Thank you once again, Smme, for the invitation. I am truly humbled. I am one of the beneficiaries, the WNR through ECGCSA. So for now, is it okay? The introduction? Okay, and the rest? Okay. Thank you so much.
Let's give her, please, a big round of applause. And then we're going to call up next Gugu Khoza, the founder of Honey's Beauty. Please just come join us. Let's give her a beautiful, warm round of applause as she ascends to the podium. Yeah, you see, that's what happens when you're first on the pick. You can choose. Is the light fine? Are your eyes fine? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Naki Gugu Khoza, founder of Honey's Beauty Hub, and also a beneficiary from WNR CETA. So at Honey's Beauty Hub, what we do actually, we cater for women. We make sure that you feel good about yourself, because when you feel good, you do good, right? So your makeup, your styling. We also go deeper into such having conversations with our clients. So you come to do your nails, we have one-on-one, you're telling me about your day, how hectic your life is. I give you so much advice and so on. We go deep in such a way that we invest in ourselves, in learning, how do I make a difference in other people's life? How do I serve other people? So we're not, how do we serve customers? How do I serve other human beings? How do I make a change in your life? It could be anything that you need assistance with. So we are here, we provide for that. The journey with WNR CETA personally started in 2021. I was sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. I had nothing, I was doing nothing, just like a normal girl from the township who's looking for a job or whatever opportunity. And then I was recruited for one of their programs, IT-Meet programs, and they said, even if you don't have an idea, just come. So why wouldn't you? Even if you don't have an idea, come and be part of the program, and then we'll take it from them, right? And then we got stipend. And from that stipend, I took 2.5 and then I went to invest in buying nail kits. So I started doing nails with that money. And I didn't only got the stipend, I got the theory. Everything, like guys, it's very important that when you attend such events, you're going to learn. Do that, like take as much as you can. It's up to you. Whether you're gonna use it right or you're just gonna flush, like what Mr. Bulelan was saying, it's up to you. If you're just gonna flush it elsewhere, I mean, he's doing very good with his business, so he's sustained. So it's up to, if he passed this stage. So if you don't do what you have to do with this stage, then it's up to you. So I really took whatever that I've learned there, and I mean, they give us manuals. So whenever you're struggling, you go back to that manual, right? So I went to YouTube, I learned how to do nails. That's how it started. Like he was saying, you go back to your clients, right? Then I got to realize that no, it's not only me doing nails. They need hair care products, they need skincare products. I knew nothing about that. I went back. I did a research on how to do those things, but I was doubting myself. And then WNRCTA came back, 2023. They said, we're just checking who was doing what. You know, it was many of us, but now they're checking the progress. After 2021, remember, we can be 100 of us and only one decides, so I'm gonna take this opportunity and do what I'm supposed to do with it. So they were checking for those people. And then we were selected to go to Kenya to learn even more, right? Yeah, to learn even more, meaning grow your business even better. Like I didn't even think of that. And then when we came back from Kenya, that's when I actually started producing the skincare product. They don't know, Miss Mother doesn't know, but now she knows. That's when I started producing the skincare products and the hair care products. Yes, and then I go to events like the tea, and then Mr. Bulelani does support, guys. I remember I left there with no stock. I made sure that he buys everything. Because sometimes, you know, we don't support each other. Like, we don't support each other. And that's where the problem lies. If we do not support one another, then how are we going to sustain the businesses? But then he did that. He supported me. Okay, I came back. There's other programs that WNRCTA does. We have workshops, and every time when you attend, you learn. If you want to learn, you learn something, and then you implement, and then your business grows. I came back from Kenya, and I have 8 permanent employees. From me running everything by myself, I have 8 permanent and 2 temps, and temporal. And then I've got another salon / store that I'll be opening, meaning another people will get employed. Yeah, thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, I know you were right in your preamble earlier on breadwinners. Wow, no, man. But also, that wasn't a paid promo. When I supported the staff years ago, it was not a paid promo. I'm kidding. But let's now call up our third panelist, which is Gidiboni Sehole, the founder of Muiponi Aesthetics. Let's give her a warm round of applause. Here you go, my lady.
All protocols observed. My name is Gidiboni Sehole, and I'm the founder of Muiponi Aesthetics. My business manufactures exceptional quality products for personal care. So my WNRCTA support story, as a proud beneficiary, it's always a pleasure being in a room and sharing my story, because truly, like Gugu was saying, it's life-changing. And I'd like to congratulate the CEO and the WNRCTA team, firstly, for winning the National Presidential SMME and Cooperative Small Business Development Ministers Award. Yes. It's efforts such as these which really cement the WNRCTA as the best CETA in the country, especially when it comes to supporting us as small business owners. Some of us come from disadvantaged background with no prior knowledge of how to run a business, but you've empowered us to be able to be where we are today. I've benefited a lot from the WNRCTA programs. Firstly, it started in 2021, just like Google, but mine was an entrepreneurship development program, which is an NQF level program where we were capacitated, trained, and given the knowledge of how to run a business and how to be successful business owners, followed by the SME DG grant program, which runs every year, where we receive support from the CETA in a form of capital. And then I'm proud to say that I'm also the winner of the Good Practice Awards Entrepreneurship Award, which took place last year. And the awards really, really pushed the capital funding for my business, which I started in 2018, like I said, with no prior technical training or solid background in business. And the WNRCTA has provided various platforms, not just in monetary or training purposes, but platforms to market myself and my business, such as presenting me and allowing me to attend the National Social Entrepreneurship Development Colloquium, Empower Youth Week, which as business owners we know, marketing your business and having people knowing about you is very central. Featuring my business and myself in their monthly newsletters and on their social media platforms. So there's much I can say. I could go on the whole day, but yes, I'm a proud beneficiary. Thank you.
Maybe let me ask you to, okay, maybe you can hold the mic and then just rotate it and then I'll ask you guys. What you guys think of these amazing, courageous entrepreneurs? Wow. But you know, over and above everything they've done, they broke out of their thoughts and their dreams and they started. You know, how was starting like? Maybe just take us through that. How did you actually start? You know, and how did you deal with the fear of starting? Maybe that's the right question. Let's start with that question. How did you deal with the fear of starting? Because sometimes we've got a lot of doubts. And because you must remember, guys, we don't just start a business. Every time you want to enter a new market, you're starting something. Anytime you want to enter, create a new product line, you know, how was that even? Just take us through the journey.
Okay, for myself, when I started, I had to start because now I'm a breadwinner and I have a son, you know, and I'm unemployed. I cannot afford to be unemployed. I got this opportunity, and then when I started as like doing my own nails and then advertising them. And then my friends were like, oh, you know, your nails I knew they were nice, but I just wanted their validation because, like you said, there's that fear, you know. So I was like, I used to do them, and then they were like, ah, they are nice. Deep down, I know they're nice, but I wanted their validation. And then from then, then I started getting clients from them. I was like, no, guys, because I'm still learning. You can give me 50 rand just to reinvest the stock. But on that 50 rand, I knew I'm making profit. They didn't know. They thought I'm just getting money to buy back the stock. I'm doing the nails for free. That's what they thought. And then on that process, it's me getting profit, providing, and also bettering my skill, because the more you do something, the better you become. The more you talk about your business, the better you become. The more you advertise yourself, the better you become, right? So, and then I started getting my friends as clients, and then from word of mouth. Remember that time I just had like small of theory regarding running a business. Word of mouth, where do you do your nails? Your nails are beautiful. No, this girl did my nails. I started with house call. She comes to you, and then I didn't charge for a house call then. She comes to you, and then your nails get done and so forth and so on. That's how I introduced myself to the market. And I don't want to lie, guys, it was a bang. You go to my hood, they'll tell you the best nail tech is Hani. The best nail technician, it's me. Because that's how I presented myself, as the best of the best. You'd come to my salon, I was using, actually I started in my bedroom, I was using an ironing board as the table. But you know, people would look at you and be like, oh, can I trust her? I used to invest in bettering my skills. I used to do designs that the other nail technicians couldn't do from YouTube. So you come to me, you bring a picture from Pinterest, Instagram, whatever. I will do that design with that 50 rand. And obviously, that's how I branded myself. I became the best in the hood. And then I also attend such events, you know, so that you better yourself. You learn from the big guys like Abo Mr. Bulela, and when they talk, you actually note okay, I'm going to do this. You know what your business is lacking, right? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm stealing this from my business, this and this and that. Or I can fire myself. I don't want to be fired from my business. Let me fix this and that, right? And then I engaged with my clients. I got to understand that there's actually other things, that it's more of me serving other human beings. It's not about I'm a business person, hey, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO, hey, I've got that big title. It's about what are you giving to the other human being. I mean, even the Bible says God wants us to serve one another. God wants us to serve his children, So what are you giving to the other people? Because as soon as you realize that, and as soon as you work on that, I don't think you will run out of business. So that's basically how I started, how I grew my business. I talk to my clients.
I wanna save that one.
Okay.
That one. I wanna ask it in a different way, because I wanna ask you, was also to be able to scale. To be able to grow a business and ramp up and get 8 employees talks a lot to that scale. I want you to take us through the practical steps in my next round.
Thank you so much, Bulelani. Fear is definitely an opposite of faith. So definitely fear will be there. But you need to understand, what is your purpose? What do you want to do? When Zazi's Productions was established, it was in 2002. At that point in time, I was employed, and life was great, and it was mainly for a media house. So in the actual fact, Zazi's Production is 22 years old. And from there, life was good. That was in 2008, and you grow and you see that, it's not what you thought. And fast forward, we had to look at, one revenue stream does not work. And you need to decide whether you go back to be employed or you continue with the vision. So personally, I had to decide that, yes, I was not employed. I was not fired. I decided to leave. And I was like, okay, let's work on a product with. Then we established, we actually enter into agro-processing, and agro-processing became a market leader. And in the midst of it all, I think all of you as entrepreneurs, you know that you will still be challenged. 1, petrol money. 2, you're owing almost everybody around you. You're even scared to go to them. Some will actually say to you, if you don't pay us, we'll show you, now and now there are these good opportunities that are happening, and sometimes you don't want to post because somebody will say, hey, look at her, she's traveling, and so that is our daily life. But what keeps me focused is the vision and is the support that one is getting. And with your permission, may I kindly go to my slide so I can actually take everybody.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, this is not a sidebar. We always knew about the slides. Okay. So to the market, the slides, no.
Yes.
Okay, the tech support, so that she can just display, or you're gonna operate and she clicks. Just give them 1 second.
Okay.
Maybe then let me do this. While we wait for them, maybe I want you to stand here. Okay. Let's give her the mic so that she takes us through, we'll sort her out, and then we get in, we move on. Thank you, my lady.
Okay, thank you. So, one word to describe how we're starting, interesting. I was like many of the young black people in our country, very educated but very poor. You are educated, and I had some work experience, but I was not working, I did not have an income, and I needed to survive. And I actually used the last of the 600 Rand I got from my UIF payout at that time. and I took the hobby and the interest I had in personal care, maintaining my own skin, maintaining my own hair with the natural products I had at home, and I started the business. So with the growth and support I had from my business, as well as organizations in my community, I could mention some. Maybe I would say the NYDA and CEDA. Prior to engaging with the WNR-CETA, it really motivated me and exposed me to the world of entrepreneurship, to say it's more than just getting by. You could experience something that you never imagined. For example, 2 years back, we went on trade exhibition in Zanzibar, where we met with hotel owners, you meet with cruise ship owners who could be interested in you being their supplier of toiletry and vanities in their ships and in their hotels. So starting it needed me to be brave, but it was very interesting because now I've grown into being the person that I am today, no longer just expecting to be employed, but maybe becoming an employer like Gugu one day. So yeah, it was very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, please just take us through.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So this is us, and as I said earlier on, it was registered in 2002, and the journey, when then one decided that this is the space that we are entering, agro-processing. When we entered agro-processing, and at that point in time, I was promoting agriculture in some of the schools in Soweto. Then we were introduced to the Department of Agriculture, the national department. Then I requested support from them. And the Department of Agriculture said, okay, your product will be best assisted by CGCSA. Therefore, I was introduced to CGCSA. And the person they introduced me to, it was Ms. Sitati, who is the executive of FSI. I remember when we had a meeting, first meeting with them, then they wanted to see the product. I tell you, if you are to see the label, you'll be shocked that, okay. At that point in time, it was one of the best because I was excited that, wow, we've created this and wow. Then, yeah, then we go to the meeting and we discussed, and I was informed that, okay, now you're going to be introduced to Terran, and Terran took me for a workshop, and I had to understand how labeling works, how photography and all that. So it was I thought it was a meeting for an hour or less than an hour, but it took almost the whole day. The passion that she explained, why Zazi and my variants and all that, and even the language. So for me, when I requested the National Department of Agriculture to assist, I said, I am looking for mentorship, because I knew that I do not want to be one of those products that will not fly. I wanted to enter the space with the vision that I want the product to be global. So that is why I had to go to the best of the best. Then was supported. We had a workshop with Terran on that day regarding barcode and traceability. And then Matlo also introduced me to one of her team, Precious. She was with me also. The workshop took almost the whole day as well, explaining food safety, and we need to go through training and HACCP and all that. I was like, oh, cool. So that was the journey. And it was established. We entered into the space in 2020. Our first product was, we produced our first product, it was on the 19th of March, 2020. was excited and siyabangen. Then on the 26th of March, it was full lockdown. And we're like, wow, God, what do I do now? You know? But the good thing about that is, in the midst of full lockdown, they were still working online. And I was able to do my desktop research, and all these interviews and meetings were online. It was only towards the end of the year that they said, okay, it's fine, we can meet and take you forth. So we went on. As part of mentorship, they are still mentoring me to date. So training, which was an amazing training with WNR CETA. That training, to this day, it became an unlocker. It opened huge doors for me. I'm gonna go fast forward so that you see this. If that picture, the top right, that is our first logo. Our first logo. And as an infant in the industry, I was excited. And in that meeting, Madlowu and Precious said, Tobeka, what are you selling? Are you selling Zazi, or are you selling fruits or something? So because they wanted to see Zazi big, they could not see Zazi. So they're like, okay, no, we're going to work on your product, we're going to work on your labeling, we're going to work. And one thing that works, I hope all of us, we had that spirit, a teachable spirit. Allow to be criticized. Therefore, you will grow. So that was our first product. And then during the course, the shelf readiness program that is WNR CETA's baby. So on this thingy picture, and my colleague Upeni, that's where I met her, and we became friends to date. So that is our first, when we were informed that, okay, today we're going to have a visitation from the funder. So please bring your products. So I brought my products, you can see them on the corner. And now you see the different logo. The training, those workshops, I did not know about barcodes. I actually took barcodes online, and they said, no, 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 we don't do that. Yeah, and then through being mentored by CGCSA, when now we entered into the retail, township retail, then we informed that you need to have your data, your sell by date. So it must be there. So I had to call again CGCSA. Terry, where can I get a sell by date machine? And then they had to give me contacts and call whoever. Then this guy, and at that point in time, in fact I forgot to tell you this, I started from my home at my sister's house at Tembisa in her kitchen. And this guy is at home, right? So the mentorship that I got from CGCSA through WNR CETA, I was able to have premises. From that course, from that training, I had to go and look for premises. And guess what? Our first premises, we got them from, okay, fast forward. So from that first picture to here, this is CGCSA, this is WNR CETA, this is the Department of Agriculture in Gauteng, this is CETA. So government is being behind Zazi's production. So this is some of our stuff. And last year, we also won second prize during the WNR SETA Good Practice Awards. And we are, when we actually attended Intra-Africa Trade, it was during that course that WNR SETA supported with CGCSA. So we're informed that there are these programs that DTI do and all that, and it was advertised, and I applied, and I got it. You don't have to know anyone. Knock, the door will be open, and then you make sure that you keep your relationships. Keep humble. Look forward. Learn. And I can go on and on. And so there's a lot. So I'm told that I have only 3 minutes. So here are our photos. So this is myself, this is Martha, CGSA, and my mother, and the awards. Thank you, and God bless you.
Beautiful quote. No, you can grab it as you said. Thank you so much for that beautiful journey that you took us through. I mean, 22 years is no child's play. Being able to have the I mean, you know the mortality rate, especially for business. Number of businesses who don't make it, sorry, out of a certain threshold. You know, we go in, it panel beats us, it deals with us, you go have a break, you're unemployed a little bit, you get a full-time job, you come back in, it deals with us. But at the end, those are learnings because we're iterating a better development and growth from that. But I want to then ask, I mean, you sort of spoke earlier on the preamble about, you know, you came back, and then it seemed like a bang. Bam, now you've got 8 employees. You know, what does that look like, you know, in terms of your business? How did your business grow to get to that? What sort of support did you get to get that? Then I'm also then asked ladies, just pushing the time now, keep the answers, Then we've got 3 questions or 4, then we'll see if we'll still open up to the floor. But when we come back from our tea break as well, we're going to hammer out into point number 2.3 or point 4, where we open up to what are the challenges, how do we improve, and we open engagement as well. So if some of the things you might have missed here, just note them down at Olwen.
Okay, from my side, I come in a very informal environment where opportunities are scarce. So the only government agency that I know or that I've worked with is only WNR SETA, right? So with their programs, we usually get a stipend or some sort of vouchers, right? That's financial assistance. In the beginning, I thought I was okay running the business by myself, for myself, right? And then with all the mentoring that we got, I understood that it's, if you want to grow, I mean, why would you start a business to stay as a small business? Somehow you have to grow so that you employ, and then we fight what the unemployment of the country. So through those programs, that's what they teach. How do you grow yourself? How do you market yourself? How you need to seek mentorship. You need to have a person that you rely on as for advice and so sort of stuff. So we got those mentors from Kenya, and then after the program, they still mentored us after the program, right? So with my mentor, I was like, okay, this is where I was brutally honest with my mentors. Like, okay, this is my vision, right? This is where I see my business, or this is where I see myself rather, and this is where I am. To be honest, I'm not even close. I did not even have an idea, Oguti, you need to employ other people to assist you and so forth and so on. And they're like, I got advice from them. First things first, you cannot do everything, but you cannot braid, do nails, do makeup, do da-da-da-da-da-da. So seek people that can assist you. There are people that have those skills, and they're seeking employment. I mean, you're fighting unemployment in South Africa, right? Yes, seek for those people, look for those people, and I've never done that. Okay, I did that, right? I looked for people. I was working in a very, 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 very small salon / shop, right? Now I even have products that I need to sell. There's a lot that's going on now through the mentorship, right? Lucky enough, with the stipend that I got, plus winning an award for non-levy paying companies, right? Now I also have a mentor. We strategize how we're going to use this money, how we're going to utilize this money. Okay, Gugu, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that with this money. This will give you this, and this will give you that. This is how you do it, right? And then I was able to, I don't want to, like, as we sitting here as panelists, I'm learning a lot from them, what I need to fix from my products, from everything, right? And then I started distributing in the local spaza shops, the Indian spaza shop. I started distributing the products, and that gave me so much revenue. With the money that I got from Darwin RCT, I was able to buy a car to do those deliveries. It helped me a lot. Like the shops that I deliver to now, even though I'm still not formal, I don't have the barcoding, the packaging is, when I was looking at the packaging, I saw myself like, hey, this is me. But then I still do those deliveries. They still buy my product. So then I had to employ. I need to get stylists, I need to get people who do nails, and then I need to get people who are going to help me with delivering. The manufacturing, I do it myself, right? And the assistance of my nephews. But the others, like, I need to get a driver. While I'm still delivering somewhere, I need to get someone who's going to deliver somewhere. Because, you know, like, about my friend, they don't play, guys. You need to be punctual. They are strict, those people. They don't play. Yes, I have watch what smile, but when it comes to business, honey, your smile aside, you need to deliver. When we say we want this amount of this at this time, that's what you do. You don't bring excuses. And lucky enough, that's when what I learned in Kenya, there's no African time that side. So these people, they don't know African time. And it helped me a lot. And also be willing to learn, and from learning, implement, be teachable, you know. You would get a mentor, and then they'll tell you, okay, in your business you need to fix that, and then you don't do that, like, you're not gonna grow. Be teachable. And what I've also realized is that, yes, we are trust fund babies as South Africans, and we have our government assisting us, but let the government find you somewhere. You know, most question that other entrepreneurs give me when they see me and my progress is, how do I access funding? And then I'll be like, ugh, I never ask that question. I always ask, how can you help me grow so that I can fund myself? And then the funding comes along the way. Okay, Kuku, in order for you to get this machine to do this and this, you need to get this machine which will cost you this amount of money, and you don't have that amount of money, meaning you have to apply for funding here. That's how I actually get to apply for funding. But for me and myself, it's more of growing my business, you know. So it's very important to ask the right questions at the right time, you know. Look deeper to yourself, and just force yourself to think beyond what you think now. I remember on one of the tea events, Putebuho said, when you spell the word learn, and then you remove the L from the word learn, you are left with N. And I took that, meaning you learn an N. You learn an N. And for me, that's been a strategy that works for me. You learn, you implement, you end. You learn, you implement, you learn.
No, thank you so much for that. My lady on the end.
Okay. Like Gugu said, we're learning from each other here, and I find strength in other entrepreneurs.
Maybe let me ask you something different.
Okay.
From the work you've done with WRC, what has been the one piece of learning in your entrepreneurial journey, or two or three? This could have been through a book, through a training, through a facilitation, through something you watched and you heard. What is the one piece of advice or learning that has re-engineered how you think and you look at business?
Definitely to reinvent myself.
To?
Reinvent myself. So if I feel that a product has reached its lifeline, I can reinvent it, whether it is through branding or repositioning it, or maybe just my business as a whole. I've rebranded, and it's my third rebrand. And in my rebranding, I reinvent myself, and I position myself to a niche that I feel will identify better and that will give me a better market share. So definitely to reinvent myself and reinvent my business, reinvent my product, reinvent my value proposition, reinvent how I present my business, how I pitch my business, how I approach funders.
But now tell me, where does that then stem from? Does that stem from external individuals that are telling you you're positioned wrong, or is this stuff that's coming from within because you're consistently maybe assessing your business?
Well, through the entrepreneurship development program, we were given the tools to be able to assess our businesses, to see that if I'm not making profit, how do I assess my business to see that this is the stumbling block or the bottleneck that is stifling my business? And then how do I then reevaluate to come up with ideas or solutions to this problem? Because with every problem or with every risk comes an opportunity. So the training really capacitated and empowered us with the knowledge to be able to see that X and Y is not working. Maybe let me try A and B.
Thank you so much. Then, Sister Berg, just tell me, you know, you've been in business for 22 years, and I guess maybe just as a precursor to the other guests, is the next question I'm going to ask you is what keeps you up at night? You know, what keeps me up at night is the fact that in one of the businesses I own, we've got competitors that are about to eat up our lunch. So that's what we meet about every single day, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. It keeps me up at night. We are fighting. So it's to know what keeps you up at night, you know, and what are some of the challenges that you've experienced in your entrepreneurial journey. Then the follow-through last question would be, what are some of the achievements, and what did that moment feel like for you? But just take us through the 22 years. How have you been able to build resilience?
Well, it's faith. It's God. I always say, if it was not of God, I wouldn't be standing.
Is it on?
Okay. If it was not of God, I wouldn't be standing. One, I've been discouraged several times, but because I know that He alone has a purpose for me, and His purpose is for me to generate generational wealth. Generating a generational wealth is not a 2-day or a 2 weeks thingy. It's a journey. And I also understood and learned that business is spiritual. So if you are coming from a family that you are the first to do or to make a generational wealth business, just know that you'll have challenges that nobody has ever experienced in your family. And you are tilting the land. You are tilting the ground for others. Unfortunately, I don't have a mentor from home that went the journey, and things would have been very easy. So sometimes, and I would like to share this with entrepreneurs, sometimes if you are rejected, it's not because it's the department. The issue is with you. Who in your family that said this family will not make it? Who said poverty in this family will be their lifespan? So look at yourself, deal with yourself, seek the face of the Lord, that, Lord, is it what you have called me to do, or I am just copycatting somebody? So the journey has taught me that when everything is spiritual, everything has ears. So I've learned that. And it kept me going. It kept me to understand that the Bible says, faith without deeds, it's dead. So now we pray and don't work, right? So you need to pray, have faith, and implement.
Have you ever had a moment in these 22 years where you felt like giving up, or you actually did give up? And what did that look like?
I have a lot of them.
What was that experience? Take us through that
I
experience.
lost my car, I lost my house. What do you do? And your people, your peers, your friends, they just decide that, we don't want to be with you. You know, you are a failure.
But now
So
tell me something. You lose your car, you lose your house, what then happens? Where do you now have to move to? Do you move to
Go back home.
How was that? Because you know, a lot of the times when we're faced with challenges in life and in business, we don't want to go back home because abantu bazothini.
I did
How
not
did you
want to
navigate
go
that?
home. I felt exactly bazothini, but I thought of, if it's you, God, I'm going back home. Whoever would laugh at me, it is fine. And indeed, I went back home, and indeed, people laughed at me. But, I mean, going back, you know. So, but God will, I realized that God was preparing me for this big vision, because at that point in time, I did not think of agro-processing. And we're only 4 years in agro-processing. We started in 2020. And I see that, wow. When he said, agriculture is gold, and I started with the youth and said, youth, agriculture is gold. Continue. And they said, Mama, we also want to see from you. When you say to them, wealth, generational wealth, they said, but we also want to see it from you. And indeed, I was actually inspired by them that, okay, let's do it. Right? And yeah, so it's not easy. When I believe, that is for me, somebody that is not tested, we are born and jangen. But okay. This one agayazi impilo, but it's okay.
And then you know what I'm going to do? I want you to capture this for me. My closing remark from you, I'd want you to just prepare that, because when I get them to answer these two questions, then I want you to prepare just a 30-second message to these amazing entrepreneurs, you know, because I love what you are sharing and you've got so much depth to share and we are learning. Beautiful story. Let's give a big round of applause. So, Kiriboni, you know, I'd asked those two questions earlier on. You know, what keeps you up at night? What are some of the challenges that you've actually come across? Because, you know, sometimes as entrepreneurs, I stand here, I don't look like I'm feeling any baggage, but sharing that reality of entrepreneurship, you know, is such an important thing to know.
I think an easier question is, what challenge have you not gone through? You know, because when Mama's talking, I'm just agreeing with her. You lose financial stability, you lose your credibility because you're borrowing here just to grow your business. Yes, people can see you on social media and they can see your business growing, but what is the tangible thing that you have? Because the idea is you become a business owner, an entrepreneur, maybe there'll be an overnight success, you'll become a millionaire, we'll see you driving a beautiful car, especially when you come from the hood. People expect much when you say I'm a business owner, and it doesn't materialize like that. Sometimes it takes years of hard work, sweat, tears, blood. So I've gone through what Mama has said. I've also lost the property. You forfeit your career. Following a particular career path, being a young person, and then you decide to become a business owner, whether through chance or through situations, you forfeit what you thought you would be, you know, the expectation that you have from family, going back home. So I think an easier question is, what haven't you been through? And just to add on to the second question that you asked me, I think being in a room with entrepreneurs like the ones I'm in now keeps me going. And what keeps me up at night, generational wealth, like she said.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Gugu? Thank you so much. Let's give her a big round of applause. Let's give her an honest round of applause. So, Gugu, the same preamble, you know, what are some of the challenges, or that one challenge you've gone through? How did you work through it? What keeps you up at night? Okay. And then you guys will share success stories. We close.
Okay. So what keeps me up at night is not having customers, guys. When I don't get clients, I don't sleep. Honestly, I don't sleep. And lucky enough, I do have challenges, but I'm one person who, whenever there's a problem, I'll find a solution. So that's me. So when I'm up at night, I'm thinking of solutions, right? So, and I'm not afraid of failure, and I'm not afraid of being laughed at. I've been a laughing stock in my hood. Like now I'm an example. Like people look up to me, people come to me for advice, like, guys, I'm the it girl, I don't wanna lie. Like, I'm the it girl. I'm the it girl. I mean, I've employed 8 people in a period of less than a year, like, hello. So, whenever I do face challenges such as not making money, you know, you have this plan and then it doesn't go according to plan, and then I do crash and go back like, oh, God, I had this plan and this is happening. And then I usually go back and be like, girl, you worked this hard, you have this, you have that, you have that. You have so many things to be grateful for. So what you need to focus on now is, okay, this is the challenge that I have. I can't change it. Even if I climb the mountain and throw myself pantsy, I cannot change it. What solutions do I have? And then God helps me with, God helps me a lot. God is my best friend. He just gives me ideas. I always get ideas that helps me to bounce back. Because if I don't get customers, when I call my clients, I text them on WhatsApp. I'll just randomly say, I have a special. When can I book you? Or I have these products and I know you're suffering from alopecia or what. I pay attention I pay a lot of attention to everything. Even now, I'm paying attention to everyone. I pay a lot of attention. So I always, I want to serve, so I always look for opportunities. So I would say to you, I have this product. If you maybe You know, especially in the townships, people, they don't like to complain, whatever. If you're not happy, you'll someone say, no, I'm cool. I'll text you if I want it, or if, then I'll go deeper. No, man, this will help you. Why aren't you trying it? Like, okay, let me bring it to you. You know, all those sorts of conversations. Sometimes it doesn't work, then I'll look for another idea that would work. So all I want to say to you guys is that, yes, we have challenges. It's life. God didn't say we won't have challenges. The Bible doesn't say we won't have challenges. But it's all about what do you do with those challenges. Are you going to sit back and be like, okay, this is a challenge, and admit that is a challenge? One thing about me, I always get what I want. I refuse not to get what I want. So if I want to make 20 sales, trust me, give me anything. As long as I want to make 20 sales, I will make those 20 sales. Whether you give me a person to sell, I can sell a person. Because I want to make 20.
Let's give her a round of applause. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so guys, yeah, I do have challenges, yes. I do have struggles, yes. But I always bounce back.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Then Sister Wed, just your one-liner. You know, what is your word of advice? Whether it's similar to what I'd asked you earlier on. You know, learnings that has changed the way you think. You know, that have catapulted you, or just a message, you know, just 30 seconds, and then we'll do 30 seconds with the rest of the other two ladies, and then we go break out for tea.
Okay. A word of advice is be vigilant, be purpose-driven, inquire of the Lord. Don't just do things because somebody else is doing, so you become a copycat of somebody else. Inquire of the Lord. Do it from the bottom of your heart, that even when things are tough, you are able to stand and say, but God, you said, therefore it must come to pass. And you mentioned success. My success story would be, thank you, WNR-SETA. Thank you, CEO. Thank you, Smme, for making me one of your best partners, beneficiaries. Thank you. Thank you so much, because I wouldn't be here without you. That award last year, it's like now Zazi's productions profile has changed. It's a seller. You're like,
I love that.
We are, you know, and so, oh wow, okay, and then people like, you know. So thank you so much, and there are more, and they will bring more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ask you one.
Okay, my one-liner would definitely be, every challenge has a hidden opportunity. In the challenge that you're facing, look at the various opportunities it presents. If I can give just a slight example, we've been having a challenge with access to markets. But I saw it as an opportunity to say, maybe I could have my own boutique. I can tailor-make a small store where I can tailor-make my product and offer other services to my customers. It will bring in other streams of revenue, and it will cement my business as something long-lasting. So every challenge has an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The one-liner.
Guys, I would like to thank WNR-SETA, because they are the only people that I've worked with, and they've invested so much in me, right? And I thank them for trusting me, right? For trusting me with their vouchers money, their stipends, and so forth, because I did use that money ngendlela right. It's very important, guys, to actually don't use the business money for yourself. I know we struggle as small business owners. But if you get, for instance, 3,000 voucher stipend for your business, and I now want 2 and 3 and 4 endling, rather invest in your business, fix whatever that is going on wrong, so that you will have money for those things. Don't start endling and then running a business, because I feel like would stay in that position as SMEs, like small business owners. I don't want to be small by the next. I want to tell a different story next year. I don't want to say, yeah, but now WNR-SETA, I'm struggling with this and this and that. I'm also learning from everyone here. Whatever, I know what my business needs. So I'm learning and picking how am I going to assist my business, so that next year I'm not here. Next year I'm at the higher level. So it's very important, guys, to invest in, even in, meaning investing in yourself. Like buying that book that you know will help you grow your business. Attending, paying for that, what do you call this, mentor, so that you know that mentor will help you grow your business. Do those things, guys. It's very important. It's very, very important. Do it yourself or for your business, if not yourself. Like, just do it. Like, have hunger for growth, have hunger for success. And then when you have that, have a vision. Don't just have vision. Implement, because chances are whatever that idea or something that you're thinking of now, someone else is thinking of it. And if you don't take charge, that person might do that, and then you'll be sitting at home and be like, you know, I thought of that. We all have those things. You know, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I should have, doesn't work. So take charge, be authentic, force yourself, you know, motivate yourself. Don't wait for Miss Martha to say, hey, or who to say what. Do it yourself. If you don't motivate yourself, even if you're struggling today, be your cheerleader and be like, but you did so much that is good. So that means even going forward, you'll do great. Motivate yourself, push yourself. We all have struggles. If we would sit here and talk about struggles, we all relate because we all have struggles. Let's focus on whatever big goals that we want to achieve, because I think that's what keeps you going. Even if it's small steps, even if it's small things. The fact that yesterday you used to wake up at 10, but from tomorrow going onwards to wake up at 8, that's an achievement. Those are the things that you can actually give yourself a round of applause to. It's don't wait for having 8 employees before you give yourself a pat in the back. Even smaller nyana things that you know you are changing and they're making good impact in you or in your business. It's just that.
Ladies and gentlemen, our panel, let us give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. So we're going to go on a stretch break, a tea break, just for the next 10 minutes, just for 10 minutes so that we can get back into the program and really just have you out here in time to go back and make those sales calls and work on your business, right? Thank you so much, guys. Just 10 minutes. We'll be back here, I think, promptly 4 minutes, 5 minutes past 12. We'll be back in this room. It's just keys, so we can now break out. Thank you so much. Thank you to our panel. Thank you. You guys spoke so well, actually. Thank you. If you can just please be available. I've got the mic, Mo, just in case if you need the mic, just so we move the mic around the room. And then I think, so thank you so much guys for assembling in. So just I think from the first part of our program that we had, and we had the panel that gave us, they shared their own stories. We now get into a different part of the program where, much to what the gentleman was sharing earlier on, just sharing with the CEO and the team, how can you help? Where can the improvements be? And I think just in taking into cognizance what I'll kindly ask, any of the things that we might have come up earlier on, who are you, what are you expecting, those notes, those queries or concerns or suggestions were noted. So let's try and make sure we manage our time, we avoid repeating the same thing twice. Then when you get the mic, just please stand, you speak. Hi, my name is Bulelani, I'm from Business X, Y, and Z. What I would like to suggest to the CETA is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or from my experience, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that it doesn't become a burdensome conversation. We're talking about the hurdle and the opportunity at the same time. So share the hurdle, share the opportunity, share the hurdle, share the challenge. If there is no hurdle, you don't need to search for one. You can just share what you would like to see and what we can improve on, so that we jot those things down, and then we'll move to having the CEO up on the platform. Then we wrap up our program. We have you out in time to get back to your businesses. Let me just see. Is that a lovely lady in the room? Ah, perfect. Ah, thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. So she's... And then, guys, I think to those who didn't notice, I think as you'd notice outside, the ladies that were here, and there's some other products that we have on exhibition outside, please just go there. There are two things. Get there, buy the product. If you don't have the money, get there, take a picture. Ask for their handle. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and post them. That is one of the amazing ways of building an inclusive economy, because we post all these other brands we don't get paid for. But here's an amazing opportunity to post a product of someone you can point at and point to. So in kicking off the session, we're going to open it up. Any thoughts? I mean, anyone. It's a sporadic one. Just, you can stand as this amazing lady. The lady we started with. You see, how we start is how you finish. So that very same format. Hi, my name is Mang Mang. My company is Mang Mang. And what I'd like to say today is da, 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 da.
Hi, my name is Penny Penelope, but I prefer to be called Penny because people butcher my name. I run a company that deals with skills development for unemployed graduates in environmental health. But I just want to talk to the three ladies because I also mentor small businesses through Innovation Hub, small businesses from field to fork. What I would suggest to the, what, is it a suggestion? Yeah, something like that. What I would like them to actually look at in their product, especially those that are doing hair care products, is that I realize that packaging and your labeling are your brand. Once you get that, it's very easy then to get assistance from all the retailers for them to look at your product. But your product must say, I must buy. Ingafani ngathi kisihlari uyabona ngathi umuntu wokuphalaza make it that I actually learned it from Tobeka. Tobeka has spent a lot of money on packaging and branding the product, because when you get that, trust me, when you say Penny, have you heard anything from Bricks ladies? It's very easy to say, no, can you try this product? It's very easy to say, please, can you call this? Have you tried someone from Clicks? Yes, I've got a contact at Clicks, I can assist you. But your product must say, please come to me.
We've got a gentleman here. Or maybe let's, okay, perfect, it's fine. We'll continue in that sequence before we change.
Afternoon, everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon, sir.
My name is Kagiso Khomane. I'm a founder of an organization called For the Youth, by the Youth. So what we mainly do as an organization, we deal with two social issues. First one is to plug young people to internships and learnerships and apprenticeship. So we mainly focus on those who are from TVET colleges. And then we also do career expos in rural areas. So what I wanted to say to the CEOs in this platform, I also have an opportunity whereby we train young people in entrepreneurship, so it's digital entrepreneurship. So we can collaborate from here, then we can bring into your community so that we upskill young people, and then we don't only let young people to be job seekers, but they become entrepreneurs. Because with the economy, the hardship of the economy, it's gonna last for a very long time, because looking at China, they are not doing well economically. So if countries, first world countries, they are not doing well, so it means with us as a developing country, we will be in hardship for a very long time. So let's collaborate and bring these opportunities to your areas. So we only need 80 young people for us to train them on this opportunity, and then as the person will be bringing those young people, will also give you something. Thank you.
So maybe let me understand something. So you've got this amazing program that teaches these young individuals on digital skills. You want to collaborate. In what way? I need you, let's unpack that. And then you then speak about the 80. If you bring the 80, so is this a program where you're running where you already have the cohort and you're looking for WRCTA or anyone else in the room to help with resources? Or are you looking for someone to bring the individuals because you've got the competencies and also help with the resources?
Okay, we do have resources.
Okay.
So we only need young people in those areas so that we are able to facilitate the program to them.
That's an
so
amazing problem
as
to
someone
have.
who's recruiting these young people, you become a facilitator.
Sure.
So we do train you to facilitate this session.
Let's give him a big round of applause. And then also, guys, what I'll ask is, as the guys are talking, Lyon, if I want to put someone speaking here, you know, when we're done, don't just leave. Get his number. Ask him which area. Maybe you've got a cousin there, or a sister, a brother, a friend. Maybe you can refer them because they've got the resources. This program is already running. They're just looking for people to be absorbed. Thank you, sir. The next one. Do we have anyone on this row? Okay, there's no one. We've got a lady. Oh, okay, we'll come back this side. Okay, we've got a gentleman. Then we've got the lady there in the red. After.
Sanbona Njani. Thank you, Mr. Bulelani.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Jabulani Oliphant. I'm from Val. I'm part of the NAFCOC CDB structure. I don't know where to start, but it's very, very interesting and very, very, very challenging. But I have to ask to start with our panelists there, because I was listening carefully to their presentations. Now there's a first question that I wanted to ask about our fellow entrepreneurs. There is to say, do they have a succession plan? If it can happen today or tomorrow, one of you can get sick and invalid, you cannot operate your business. Do you have a successor that you have groomed who can work as you do, who can run as you do? Do you have such contingency plan? Because sometimes we run, we don't groom, we don't have a succession plan. Because these things are normal, they happen. You can be admitted to hospital. When that happens, will your business still continue to run effectively as you were doing? That's number one. Number two, because we are living in different spheres of communities, have you considered also because I didn't hear anything about the energy, that also one of the disruptors, if I have to say that, the load shedding. Is there any backup on that? We have developed a program, seeing that most of our SMMEs are suffering in terms of that. We are going to roll out that program of renewable energy. And we say because majority of South Africans are young people, we are considering young people and we are going to recruit them, but they are going to be aligned to those businesses, because it can't be effective. We train and train, but there's no exit plan or continuity plan. Now, after those young people were trained, the plan is to say, how do they assist those smaller businesses to get access to that kind of renewable energy as to sustain their businesses? Now, the third question is to say, have you considered, because I heard it's very good and I love WRCTA, hence I'm here as well, we have different federations here. Do my fellow entrepreneurs belong to such federations? Because it's very important as well as part of the ecosystem in those structures. Do you belong to them? You happen to belong to those structures, as they are also, because unity, I believe unity is power. I will reserve for the round of other questions. Thank you.
No, I just want to then ask something on the second point. And I think on the third one, you know, much to what we did earlier on with APA, the gentleman has already spoken. If there's curiosity in the room, go engage the gentleman so that you understand how does their structure work. And that's how, you know, you can get more info. But on the second one, you sort of talk about there's a program you guys have started with regards to renewable energy. Can you unpack that a little bit so that as we're taking notes, at least if when the CEO is responding or even after later on, they are able to have those notes. Okay, cool, it's solar that we're providing, it's generators, or it's solar lights, so that there's an idea. Okay, cool, here's the program, this is how many cohorts we're looking for, we need support with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I'll be brief because I think I will send to the CEO
the
whole portfolio of who we are, how the program's gonna roll out. But it's gonna be a very simple 3 months renewable energy ESD program, because there will be an element of business as well inside. Now, it's QCTO also accredited. I think that is where I can say I'll be brief. But going forward, I will share the whole scope. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you very much. The lady in the red, she's there, the last row at the back. Yeah, thank you so much, my lady.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lerato Mutiba. I come from an entity called UNISA Enterprise. UNISA Enterprise is a subsidiary of UNISA University, which is UNISA. Firstly, I would like to say congratulations to everyone who's here, especially the entrepreneurs. You've taken a bold step in starting a business. I must admit, you've got more courage than some of us by starting your own business. For that, I would like to say congratulations. From my end, yeah, thanks for that. What I would like to ask, especially for wholesale and retail SETA, as we are a subsidiary of UNISA, what we do what we call enterprise and supply development, where we work with a lot of SMMEs, where we do enterprise development, then we move over to supplier development. So I would like to collaborate with wholesale and retail SETA so that we can assist the SMMEs. So far we've got 250 SMMEs that we're supporting. It was the cohort from last year. So this year we're going to recruit again. So that's one part. The second part, we're doing green economy. That one is a bank SETA funded program where we train people into entrepreneurship development program. It's run in Polokwane. So we do a lot of rural development. I've heard the gentleman there who's looking for the beneficiaries to work with in rural development. You can come speak to me, because UNISA's got a footprint everywhere, so we can collaborate on that. That's number one. Why I would like to collaborate with wholesale and retail SETA also is to give these entrepreneurs access to market, because the training that we do on entrepreneur development program is not just the training. After the training, we're going to do the second phase of our training, where we do a pitching competition, where these entrepreneurs, they'll present their offering. Thereafter, then we've got different sponsors and investors. Then we'll give them the prize money so that they can add to their seed capital. Thereafter, then we've got the other ones who want to be in their employment. So those one, we link them up with the host employers, because we're saying that we don't just want to do the training for the sake of training. We want to have impact. That's why we do it in the enterprise and supply development. So we would like to collaborate with wholesale and retail SETA. I think that's one of the reasons that I came here, so that, you know, we can meet up with you, the CEO. We've met in different occasions, but obviously because we are in the same space. So that's it from me. And another thing that I wanted to ask, it was for one of the speakers who said she's in agro-processing. I wanted to understand from her the whole ecosystem, or on what she does, because she said that she does the juices. So I wanted to find out her ecosystem. Where does she get the ingredients? For example, she's doing juice. Like, does she farm her own fruits, or she gets them somewhere? Then, you know, they get delivered to her. I just want to understand the whole ecosystem, because I'm just saying, in terms of township economy, we can really build a strong, sustainable businesses if we all buy from each other. But obviously, it needs to be facilitated, you know, with all the stakeholders that we have that can make a strong impact into our economy by having our own ecosystem. So that's my questions and my suggestions for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you much. Just have a client there, Tobega. Yeah. Then we've got a lady over here. The black blazer.
Good day, everyone. My name is Brian Amatekhana. I'm from Morero Agricultural Academy. We run projects or programs. One of them is SMME's Agribusiness Activation Program. Now, what happens on the SMME's Activation Program is that we have over 1,500 learners in different regions that we are training in agriculture. Or we are training them to produce their own food within their own household. Thank you, Usmatha. I'm back. Last time I attended, it was my first time, and I said I will never miss this kind of events again. The challenge we had was that after they produced their own foods within their own household, where do they take this produce beside feeding their own families or their own communities? And through the assistance of people that were, you know, when you are, what do you call it, when you networking during this event, other people share their experience that, no man, you can use this link to go to Spa, Usmatha, send me, go to the boxes, and that is a step. Now, a week later, we got a piece of land, Usmatha. I'm back. Unlike Ubud, Tina, we don't have the resources. The resources we have is the knowledge of how to produce the food and how to secure this food insecurity that we have as a problem in the country. We have a structure of piggery and poultry. The plan is to tap into agro-processing. Using that farm as a demonstration center for all this over 1,500 youth that are in different regions, KZN, Limpopo, they will all come down to Gauteng. The land is in Ekurhuleni. It's in a farm. There are beautiful structure. Your layer, those who are in agriculture, okay, Mamzandi, if you're doing layer production, if I put it there, now what are we going to do with these eggs? We want to sell them, but we can't only sell them because the farm is in between Nigel and Duduza. You can't only sell them ko Duduza le Nigel le fela, or I'm not sure of those areas, but yeah, we want to go as far as retail. We want to go as far as Ritsamaya Modi other township areas. But now, we don't have resources. My question that I want to ask to the CETA is that, do you also support when it comes to production inputs? There's a structure, there's infrastructure. Do you support in terms of production inputs? Or, yaka os Gugu Nabua regarding the support she got to start her own business. Does one have to bring a proposal to say, this is my plan, I've got a structure, but
do you have a proposal already?
I do have a proposal already. Okay, if there's an email I can even forward now. There's even an implementation plan.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have
Also,
another
just a
question?
comment to say, we really appreciate, or I really appreciate this kind of event because we are learning every day. An agricultural graduate myself, I've been in different stakeholder meetings, but trust me, we never learn enough, and we are really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for your inputs. Really appreciate that. Then from this side, we've got the gentleman there. And so the gentleman in the black jacket, and then you've got the one in the grey golf shirt. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Theo Bongani Maseko from Davidton. I'm with my two colleagues here. We are the founders of Davidton and the Twato Manufacturing Forum. My question is to the CEO. How can we go about partnering with WNR CETA in terms of trainings, skills development, as well as funding for the township manufacturers? By the way, big up to the CEO for affording us this opportunity to come and engage with him. So in that regard, as a token of our appreciation to you, sir, we have brought you a little gift.
And I just want to say, for auditing purposes, this gift is non-solicited. This is an entrepreneur doing what entrepreneurs do. Continue, sir.
Okay. Okay, going forward, as to the opportunities we can leverage on, me and my two colleagues, we offer ourselves to be the ambassador in our township for WNR CETA. I thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, my brother. Then he's right next to you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, man, I think I spoke earlier on, but I think I've got some solution for the CEO, but also a challenge. My name is Mkolis again. I lived under apartheid for 20 years, before 94. So I have a good understanding of the apartheid system and the new dispensation for the last 30 years. Now, CEO, I think you'll agree that when we reach 94, the negotiations at CODESA, they didn't take into consideration a lot of things. I think we were in a rush to get to the freedom. So I'm going to get into the township retail. Now, there was a law called Group Areas Act, for those who don't know. What that meant is white people couldn't go to the townships or black areas and operate businesses, and vice versa. Black people couldn't. At that time, we had a thriving, if you want to call it a township economy. I don't call it a township economy because there is no economy in the township. We are not manufacturing at the level where we can calculate the GDP from the townships. So what we have at best is the movement of goods and certain services for consumption. That's what we have. But be that as may, let's call it a township economy. Come 1994, the negotiators and our leaders didn't look at this issue thoroughly. Now, we're sitting with, everyone can have a store that I can point at and say, it died with him. There's some truth to that, but I don't think people understand what it meant when big business, white business, mall operators and developers went into the townships, way before the foreign nationals came in. In fact, they're a byproduct. The real issue of how township economy was lost by black people, it was when the mall developers with all the resources moved into the townships. And when they moved in, they moved with big retailers, well established. So stand no chance. We're trying to go back and fight that, which is very difficult because it's a Goliath and David issue. So listening to the lady over there and listening to my brother here, and in a way trying to help you, CEO, and that's why we came through here, because you're in the retail sector, is that the ecosystems that they're talking about in the townships is what we're trying to do with Cornela. Cornela, because it's at the end of the value chain, meaning we are closer to the consumer. We're then transforming backwards. In other words, if you're going to have this product sitting at our stores, we can then engage with you and say, who are you? Where is your factory? Where you got the raw material? And go back. Because that's what transformation is in the retail sector. It is not just here. She's got the land. We can help and say, here's access to the market. Good. But let's go deeper so that we don't touch issues just here, lapezul. And just finally, and I think this is just for us, you know, what is academic, we throw the word entrepreneurship so much that it confuses. And this is what government is doing when they're dealing with unemployment of young people. Entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship. There's a difference between an entrepreneur, a business owner, somebody self-employed, and an employee. An entrepreneur is someone who's totally different. He's not coming into a business that exists and buy it and buy a franchise. That's not an entrepreneur. That's a businessman or businesswoman. An entrepreneur is somebody who comes up with something totally different that can move humanity forward. Whether it's looking at a gap and collaborating and creating something a little bit new. And I'm not going to ask you to stop using the word entrepreneur. The problem with using it, we're calling people who are surviving, survivalists, entrepreneurs. And because we call them entrepreneurs, we want to really think of them as entrepreneurs. An advice to would-be entrepreneurs, young people, and unfortunately, there are no jobs. I said I grew up under apartheid and lucky enough to be here. If you're going to go to any industry, the least you have to do is to get an exposure in that industry so that you know how big the industry is, who are the players, who does what. Then, after some experience having worked in that industry, you can come back and say, I'm going to start a logistics company. When I hear young people talking, we want to collaborate with you, it's so painful because I know that whatever programs they're coming up with, they're not going to survive even a year. And finally, let's not fool ourselves in this room with black. There's a reason why our economy is run by less than 10% of the population. There's a reason for that. It is structured that way. Now, if we're going to be footy-flossing around and calling people entrepreneurs when they are not, we're in trouble. Because that 10% of the population, they created systems that make sure that we're outside. So, CEO, we're here to collaborate. We think with the experience that we've gained, and we can add something, but we also need your help in doing that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I've got a lady over here. This is the lady over here. This is what? Bronze color jacket. The color of money. Thank you, my lady.
Thank you. Good day. Thank you very much to the CEO for the opportunity that you have granted us today. My name is Lerato Moalusi. I am wearing two hats. I am firstly an employee working for the NGO called National Construction Incubator. Anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning that, I know I said construction, but the strength of our organization is the model that we are using in terms of incubation programs, so that we can be able to produce a lot of similar entrepreneurs like the ladies that were talking here in front, because of there is a need to kind of nurture and babysit entrepreneurs and take them through the journey. So that's what I want to also mention, just in passing, that incubation is something that WRCTA can maybe consider in future in terms of the programs that they implement. But what I want to take an opportunity to ask the CEO, as he will be coming to address, on a personal capacity, I am a skills development practitioner. I am accredited with, not with WRCTA. I am wanting to find out, I'm accredited with Services CETA and also with QCTO, but I am interested to find out in terms of, as you know now, we are transitioning in this industry in terms of what is happening. Can you give us the overview of where are we? Because I think there's a lot of confusion in the industry in terms of what's happening with the transitioning from the CETAs to the QCTO. What's happening with WRCTA? Can people still apply directly to yourselves, or everything is going to QCTO? How is that happening in terms of implementing the discretionary grants that you are offering? How are you implementing that? And also, as a person that is interested in skills development, I would like to know in terms of the skills shortages or the area of where the CETA wants to develop. You know, we've talked about the fact that informal sector in South Africa is one of the biggest sector, and we need to find a way of making it work so that we formalize the organization so that they can really have the real impact, so that the numbers can be accounted for and that the economy can grow. So we want to know, how do we move forward here? What can we do? How do we bring informal sector into a formalized industry, and how can we assist? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I saw 1, 2, then, oh yeah, and then here. So we've got, oh, I didn't forget about you. Yeah, could you please just get the lady here, the gentleman there, then we've got a hand there and the yellow. So we've got 4. That's, but just before you go, you know, we've got some online engagement, and thank you to the guys that are online. I'm not too sure which camera it is, but we've got Smme Shabalala here who says, hi, I'd like to suggest we invite all companies and retail chain stores to come present solutions they're seeking and opportunities, maybe solutions they are seeking and opportunities generally. Smme Shabalala from Blissful Sundries Enterprise. Thank you, Smme Online. Milady, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone and everyone online. My name is Juliet Miabo. I'm the leader, or here I call it CEO of TEDCOSA. What TEDCOSA is Township Economy Development Community of South Africa. I know it sounds like a mouthful, but it's very simple. It is about township economy, and like that gentleman, we also recognize that there is no township economy. And I just wanted to use an example. If people say Kota is part of the township economy, I'm just using a very simple example. And we always say, no, it's not, unless you own the farm, unless you own the factory that produces the cheese. You see, so we might be consumers within the bigger scale of the economy, but we actually do not own the economy. But our approach is different, is to say, we then lobby as TEDCOSA. We lobby, we get involved in spaces of policy. I spend a lot of time in Pretoria, maybe I must get a cuckoo there, where we lobby on policy and government regulations around the spaces that are supposed to be opportunities for yourself. There's a program that is being dealt with now, it's called Township Revitalization Policy, which is going to go to cabinet, the new cabinet. While they're excited, hopefully they will sign it. And then it's going to come back with an idea that you'll have TIDA. I don't know if you're aware of TIDA. You should be if you're in retail. Because TIDA is Township Economic Development Act. It's a law that says, it's in Gauteng, that, and there's millions of rands that are there for yourselves. Or put in retail would know. But the whole idea of that policy is to get other townships outside Gauteng to have a similar program. So there is that township revitalization, but the question that we also raised that, no, why would you revitalize something that never existed? So we are on the same page. You can see we're born during apartheid, so we're fighting. So that's what we do around lobby. But we look at various policies. The other one is NISED, that you also get information about. It's a national integrated small enterprise development. So whether you are a survivalist or you are informal or you are making lotions from your bedroom or from a factory, Oksala, you are a business person. And that's how we look at you as TEDCOSA. And that is why we then do what we advocate. We use various platforms. We are part of various forums with the Department of Small Business Development, where we advocate for what is best for you. And I'm saying for you very broadly, because as TEDCOSA, we are sector-based. So we have about 17 sectors. I was excited when I was hearing about agro-processing, because if we are working with township and rural-based SMMEs, a lot of the township SMMEs would do agro-processing, and they wouldn't necessarily get into agriculture. But there are opportunities in poultry. You know, instead of taking a shack and putting a person there, you could put 400 dehoho and get thousands of eggs. That's the message we are putting out there. So we advocate for various opportunities with the Department of Small Business Development. We are currently challenging the DTIC, which are your partners. The DTIC, in terms of how they only focus on big business and not so much small business, because as one of the speakers said, that as an SMME, the idea is that your next is so that you don't have to be an SMME. But that transition, where is that bridge? Because you are not intending on being an SMME for the rest of your life. So we use a lot of media. Yeah, the lady with the cheese scope and a gap. We go on television a lot, and we fight with the so-called private sector, because most of the time we know that the private sector is actually Mahua, who are actually owning the economy. And those are the people that we have taken over our spaces. So let me just cut this down. What we then do, we also facilitate access. So facilitation of access, we're saying there's information, there's funding, there's so much out there that the CETAs and our government and everyone else that is doing. Other people in Kenya are saying that South Africans we are being babysat, barrenness, but we have our own history. So there's so much access, but not everyone is able to access that access. So we facilitate access, and we are part of Work Corner that works with women. There are a lot of programs, and we are also putting a special focus on entrepreneurs or business people. I'm scared of that word now, entrepreneurs and business people that have disability, you know, because we know that there's a lot of emphasis on youth and on women, but that person with disability who's selling something, and we could start working and collaborating. So we collaborate, we work with associations, and we are part of various associations. But the long and short of it is, as TEDCOSA, we are here for you. Our role, whatever we do out there, means nothing without you, because we are representing what you do. The CETA cannot go there and fight on your behalf. We have to work with them. But you have to be part of a network. It can be TEDCOSA, I'm promoting my network, but there are others. In that way, you get promoted. I just want to promote, there's a manufacturing in Daba that we are part of, and we facilitate. Last year, we had 40 manufacturers participating. 1 or 2 of you were there. And we make sure that at the manufacturing lab we have a space this big, and that one is for SMMEs. And that's where you meet other people who produce the raw material for your products. You meet not just, and you also get a chance to sell, because some of the manufacturers, the people, it's a big thing. They have big pockets, and we always encourage our SMEs to sell. That's coming in October. Please look out, we'll share information about it. So we are saying you are not alone. We'll work on collaboration. We'll work on working with other departments and the CETA. But you have to make sure that you push yourself and use CEDA. I know the RWCETA is there, but use CEDA to be able to market yourself. Not everybody is like Ukuk. Not everybody can do that. I get it, because some of you just want to do the product. So use CEDA, use whatever is there. And that is why I want to say to you, you'll work with us, and hopefully we can then facilitate your access. We also look at Indonesia. I know there's China, but we're exploring relationships with Indonesia, because there are other countries other than China and everywhere you could actually sell and trade your products in. But because I'm one of those people, I'm going to give you a WhatsApp number that you can send and say include us. It's 061 428 5338. 061 061 428 5338. We're a community of SMME and we focus on your development. Our work means nothing without you being part of what we do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, my lady. Thank you, thank you. Sir, oh, he's got the mic already. This gentleman. So, good. In terms of our flow, so we don't lose it. So we've got this gentleman, we've got that gentleman over there, and then we've got our last one is there with the yellow sporty. Correct. Perfect. So
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. I might be tall, but I'm going to be very short. Right, my name is Tabiso Kwadi. I'm the CEO and owner of Basement Butchery, Nikana Service Station, Basement Chisanyama, Inami Lounge, Le Ashma Lounge, Fresh Laundry and Dry Cleaner, and I'm also having a family trust called Kwadi Family Trust, which runs the properties of Family Trust. Mr. COO, we thank you for the opportunity that given. And knowing you personally, I know that you are a very inclusive, we believe in a very inclusive leadership. And then we know that the efforts that you made today will not go under the drain. The challenges that we have, like the gentleman mentioned of load shedding, there's nothing much we can do, but it is one of the biggest problems of these small businesses. At one stage, one was spending close to 3,000 rand a day. You imagine. It was taking too much of income. The other thing, your challenge is that your SETA has a very big scope. And believe you me that we always don't get the skills that we want from the institutions. They don't speak to what we have. And for small businesses like us, we want people that will hit the ground running. We don't have the leisure of training people for a very long time. So that is one of the other things that you have to be very much involved with small businesses. Like for instance, I'll give you a practical example that dry clean machine operators is a scarce skill. Your blockmen, people who are cutting meat, is a scarce skill. We struggle getting those people. So I had everyone that was conducting training. We are talking on high-level training. So that these small things that makes the wheel turn that we are not addressing. We cannot be training all of us as entrepreneurs, but there's things that makes the entrepreneurs move, like the ones that I mentioned. Coming to tap on the issue of supply chain. Running a butchery, you know, you're getting 40% of the market. 60% of the market get lost through the chain. One, we as black people might have cows, but we don't have abattoirs to process those cows before they get into us and be sold. So the biggest money get lost there at the abattoirs. So there's a gap that is missing on our supply chain on black people. So that's something that we need to look at. And that's where our biggest competitors like the shopping malls, your Roots butcheries and all that are hitting us on because of they can afford to sell at the lowest prices because of they've got all those facilities. But we don't have. So those are areas that I would wish us to look at going forward. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity again. My name is Jabulani Zwane. I'm from Formalized Business Alliance. What we've been doing as Formalized Business Alliance, we've been, I think in simple terms, we've been providing linkage. We've been linking a member to the services or the need of his business. For an example, we link them to training providers. We link them to people who can assist them with funding. We've been collaborating with various institutions like BOSIDA, of FREC, Fourth Resources and Engagement Center, or Innovation Hub, and so forth. And what we've seen over these years, we've realized that sometimes when you throw in money into the business, it's not the ultimate solution. There's certain things that are missing, the core fundamentals of a business. For an example, a businessman is a one-man show. He's expected to know legal and compliance. He's expected to deal with marketing. He's expected to deal with finances. All these things, and he's alone. I mean, I'm talking SMMEs. So from what we've done, we've done training with WNRC, I mean, from the days of his Pazasam Holdings. We've also done training for IFASET. People will go to a training room, get financial management training, take the module with them home, assist them with funding, get 30,000 rands worth of stock. 3 months later, you go there, there's empty shelves there. So I think from what we've seen so far, we're not experts, but we could see that there's certain technical support that is missing. So we'd like to propose to WNRC to look into something like a retail academy that will have full business support. For example, in this retail academy, we can provide training to youngsters, develop special teams. For an example, you take 5 youngsters, this is a pricing team. Their job is basically to make sure that whoever is coming through the retail academy is assisted for correct pricing. A lot of our people don't know how to price. I mean, you'll go into a shop to say, hey, I see you've got a new product. How much are you selling it? We are jail, and then say, let me see your invoice. How did you get to that price? Atimaramus, ngalebay things are so much. And that's not the way of pricing. So we want to suggest a retail academy where there will be these special support teams. For an example, Bulelan, you spoke about customer relationship management. Everybody has WhatsApp. So you will have a marketing team that will support these shops or SMME that are coming through the academy with marketing support. For an example, they go into a shop, do a market research, find out if they know this particular shop, and then collect data, help the shopkeeper with the data to do, for an example, promotions. One in a week, we'll just say, bomb up a broadcast the WhatsApp to say we've got this promotion in the shop. So the special teams that, the special teams that we think the academy must have to address the core business fundamentals. Buying team. A lot of our people, they just go to one supplier. They don't compare prices. So you need to have a buying team, for example, staffed up with 5 people. One will, I'm talking from Tshwane side, one responsible for Big Save, one for KitKat, Macro, whatever. What they'll do is they'll just visit those wholesalers and negotiate best prices. And then from there, they consolidate it, send it to all the members that are coming through the academy. You also need a finance team. People that can go into a shop and see with a Bridget, let's see your invoices, put them in a nice order, use a spreadsheet, log on those numbers. In 12 months' time, you've got management accounts that they can take to the bank or whatever financial institutions. So we're looking for a retail academy that will provide full support. I mean, we've got a lot of SMME that cannot even access grants that are available there because of business permits. So we want an SME that will go to the academy. When they come out there, they've got everything compliant. Business bank account, personal bank account. They know that they need to separate the business and their own money and the business money. Is not the same thing. They cannot finance their lifestyle ngemali business. So that's what we want to suggest for WNRC to look at, a long-term program. Thank you, you're teaching someone, but we need to monitor We need to monitor. I mean, now who says Zazi? I mean, still today, she's under a mentorship. Somebody's holding her hand there. So we would like to engage WNCTA on the academy. And the other aspect is our young stars. I remember we once invited the youngsters, basically those that their parents are our members, but they are not participating in the businesses of their parents. We invited them to say, guys, why are you not participating? You are helping your parents. I mean, that business is putting food on the table and you are not there. But no, Tinas, if kungana laptop, kungana phone, thank you very much. So we realized, okay, maybe we need to go back to the schools, because at the school, that's where you can find kids organized. Starting at grade 10 and do a WNR, just expose them about the opportunities in the retail, because retail is very important. I mean, it's one of the few sectors where you can just come out from school and go to work. I mean, it's retail. So we want to ask WNRC to consider a career guidance where you're not only going there for one day and present about career opportunities, but make sure that when we live out there, we develop or we start a retail entrepreneurial club. We'll find few learners there and we develop them. We've seen it. These young kids, they've got interest. We once took a 12-year-old and 13-year-old to do a survey. So to go to this section and identify, we gave them a list of about 90 micro enterprises that are solution. So go and identify. Basically, they go a strategy, salon tick, because we just wanted to have an overall view of the type of micro enterprises as a solution. So basically, Chair, Mr. CEO, we would like to suggest to you to look into these things. And we know you've done very, very well in the past. There's an opportunity for WNRC to do more. Tina, we like to collaborate. So we don't want to go alone. Sometimes we bring City of Tshwane, the whole engine, and just make sure we deliver. And we're happy to hear from Ubaba Ungwana. We've been talking in the office, why are we not celebrating our greatest black entrepreneurs? So it is people like Ubaba Ungwana, they need to be there in the Hall of Fame. They've done well under difficult conditions. So Nati, we are here. We are happy. We would like to collaborate with other organizations that are in the house. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And then maybe just please give it to the lady there. Then we'll close up and then take the responses and then close the formal program. Just one thing, and I'm fully aware of the fact that we had said we'd close the program off at 1. We will endeavor to ensure that at least by 1:30 we are out of here. So just please extend us 30 minutes of courtesy. We'll get the CEO, the ladies' commentary, the CEO's response, and then we'll close it off exactly 1:30. Ngiyabonga for your courtesy.
Thank you so much. My name is Susan Ndebom Tembu. I'm the National Chairperson for IEDF, Informal Economy Development Forum. IEDF, as the National Chair, IEDF focuses more on informal businesses. And as we all know that every business starts informally. No business starts in JS formal. All businesses start informally. So I'm just want to applaud WNRC. They are one of our partners. They're very supportive in what we do. IEDF is a global organization. The reason for that is because we want to bridge the gap between international and local. And we also want to create access to market to our entrepreneurs. We are in all the 9 provinces, from provincial, municipal level up to what level. Basically what we do as the IEDF, we work with SMMEs, be formal or informal. What we do, we encourage the culture of collaboration. Because as sitting here, it's SMMEs only, and there are products in this house, and there's organizations. I always say that it's always good to collaborate and work together. In order for us to be able to, to have this control of the economy and be able to grow our businesses with informally. So because if you just go outside, by walking around, you'll find someone selling, in business, trading informally. So, but as IDF, we offer trainings for all their businesses, our members. We offer training for them, because sometimes you find that SMMEs, they struggle because they don't have training, and everything that we do is digital. And also, I always say that informal businesses are the answer to unemployment and eradicating poverty. The struggle is real, it is happening, and it's up to us in this room to be able to come forth with solutions. That small business that you're running, you can employ 2-3 people and you make a difference in those households. So I would like to urge and encourage everyone sitting in this house that we come together, we work together, and also the WNRC to be visible, because it's only a few of us in this house. But if you go down in the townships, there are a lot of people that are in business, that are manufacturing products. There's spaza shops that we're complaining about. We don't have our local products in those spaza shops, and we do have people that are manufacturing. We have Zazi with juice. We don't have the juices in our spaza shops in the townships. So those are the things that we need to work on, and also our young people. As IDF, we've got programs and trainings for young people. We've got media and communications. As little as 75 rand. We give them that skill, because everything is digital. We are going AI, whether we like it or not. That's where we are, and we need to be able to adapt and adjust to those, So as IDF, that's what we do. We encourage, we offer support, and sometimes you say we want funding, and you get funding, and after that, the gentleman was saying that they give people money for spaza, give them stock. After 3 months, there's no stock. But what are we doing? We are setting our entrepreneurs for failure. It's always good to capacitate. So as IDF, we capacitate. We have spaza shops and bakery programs. We capacitate to, when you get that money, to say, we want to help you and see you through until you run a sustainable business. When you run a sustainable business, then you are able to employ more people. And that's when we're going to be able to fight this unemployment rate and poverty. Our kids are getting into drugs, substance abuse, and alcohol abuse. But sitting in this room, we are the solutions. So I would like to urge each and everyone, let's work together. At IDF, we encourage that each one tell another. As entrepreneurs, let's hold each other by the hands. Let's grow each other. Because you may be a manufacturer, or you may be in poultry, and you find that maybe you find business, maybe at correctional services. But on your own, you may not be able to deliver. But you need to find someone. So it's always good to network. Collaborate with someone in the business, the same business as yours. So in IDF, hence we are in all the 9 provinces. We are in the rural areas. Working with SMMEs, encouraging them to say, you know what, you may be informal, but let us help you to get formal, and let us help you to run a sustainable business. That's the only way we're going to be able to eradicate poverty and unemployment. That's the only way that we're going to be able to take control of this economy that we're always talking about, and stop being consumers, but also be part. We've got malls in our townships. We have few local brands in those townships. We are only consuming those malls. We only go and consume, and then the money leaves the townships. What are we doing about it? So it's always good to engage, but it's always, again, good, let us act. And by us acting, we need to work together, we need to collaborate, we need to encourage, motivate. Let's hold each other by the hand. If you see a fellow man or a fellow entrepreneur struggling, and you have more information, more experience, work with that person, mentor them. So at IDF, that's what we're encouraging. And we are on there. We can always check our website. It's www.idf.org.za. So, and also on our social media platforms, it's WNRC, I'm saying WNRC, IEDF, and then we are on social media, all the social media platforms. So, WNRC is doing a good job, but only a few people get to know. So I'd love to urge WNRC to go onto the ground, and let's go to the townships, have drives, have campaigns, have programs that you're doing, so that you can reach out to those entrepreneurs, because some of them, they don't have information. That's why I'm saying, I'm challenging everyone, let's go out there. Let's encourage, let's mentor, let's hold each other by the hand, because we've been in business for 20 years struggling, and nothing is happening. And the only way for us to get out, because we are growing old, so we need to stop that. And if only we work together, then we can be able to bring forth solutions and be able to take over and have those mamas bear cooperatives that are into sewing. We have our local bedding in that street sheet shop, shelving, we have shelving space and so forth. But we can only have that through what? When we have trainings, and IDF offers those online. You don't have to have a one-on-one online. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and that then concludes inputs from the floor. And I think, there's a number of notes that came through, but I appreciate the very passionate notes, educational, collaborative, and really just everything stemmed around empowering each other, connecting with each other, but everyone who asked for support was really to enable the next person. And as you can imagine, I've promised you the Harper's one, but also just please note another thing, you came in, you registered, we invited you in and you registered. So a consolidated report of all the inputs that were mentioned here will be sent to you in due course, right? So please just be mindful of that, because when the CEO comes up and he responds, we won't be responding, you said, you said, you said, you said, just so that we manage expectations, right? He'll give his overview, then we'll wrap up the program, but also just anticipate that committal, that a detailed response as a holistic one will be sent to everyone, just encapsulating the whole day in event. Thank you so much. So without, I think, any further ado, I'd like to now welcome up on stage the CEO, Mr. Tom Kwanas. Let's just please give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Program Director, and just to thank all of you and your participation and the engagement. And I think Martha indicated that one of our key strategic priorities stakeholder engagement. And we do this because we can sit in our office in Centurion and make decisions and just implement and then it doesn't make sense to all of us. But what has become very clear today in our conversation is that, and I think it's something that we've been saying as WNR-CETA, that we can't do this work on our own. WNR-CETA's mandate is very limited. It's skills development. We facilitate skills development. So when I say facilitate, it means we can't even do anything. We can't even build an academy. Okay. We just use structures and organizations that exist around us in order for us to be able to do what we're supposed to do. So we use institutions of learning, we use TVET colleges, we use employers, we use SMMEs, we use training providers in order for us to be able to do our work. However, it is impossible for us to do a meaningful SMME development program on our own. We need big business, and I think it has become very clear from our side. We need FDIs, those that are in the funding space, they need to be with us. We need those that are running in organizations that are dealing with issues related to incubation, mentorship, and support in order for us to be able to do what we're supposed to do. So, and one of the key takeaway that I took today is the fact that maybe, Martha, we need to have a session. I think when I had a session a week ago and I spoke to most of the big companies, they were telling me about the enterprise supply development programs that they have. So I think we need to create then that opportunity, a session like this, when we get all these big companies to come to you and have a conversation with you, so that we can then play a role from a skills development point of view, and they play a role in terms of the support what needs to be done. So, and I think that was the question that was asked. What does a CETA really do? So we just facilitate skills development. That's generally what we do through a grant. We are not even an FDI. So Gugu made a point and he says he got a stipend. And usually with SMMEs, we find that the stipends that they receive from us, you know why we give someone a stipend? We give someone a stipend so that they can be able to move from where they are, come to where we are, and do what they're supposed to do. So it's really a minimal amount of money. It will not do anything from a business funding point of view. Okay. So that's where we are. But we know that those that are in the SMME development, SMME space would think about it differently rather than young people. When you go out and you talk about the stipend on the learnership, they never ask ask you about anything, whether the program is doing well. They will ask you, when am I receiving my stipend? Okay. But what I'm also hearing here is that our relationship can't be a transactional one. Okay, so when I'm saying a transactional relationship, it means it can't be that WNR SETA just comes in and always give money for training. We also, and I've realized here that there's so much that we can do and collaborate on. You come and you work with us, and because we also can't be everywhere. I've got 250 staff members in the organization that needs to make your payments, that needs to go out there and do what we're supposed to do. So we therefore need to work with you out there. You create access for us to be able to go into your areas where you are and be able to tell our stories and what we do. Then the second issue is the issue of career guidance, and I think it has been put here very clearly. So as a WNR SETA, when I started in 2019, I said, you know, the career guidance that we have of just going out and sitting and give papers to young people is not helpful. Okay, so we then came up with a career guidance strategy, and one of the things that have come up from our career guidance strategy, and we will be launching soon, a career guidance platform. It's already launched, yes. We've launched a career guidance platform, and we would like you to go into, what is it called? Career retail, something. It's on our website. We would like you to go into that career guidance platform and use it, even use it for your programs that you do outside there, getting young people. And one of the things that we want to do with that program is to ensure that young people go and register themselves. They find out whether they like retail, okay? So you can recruit from them. We also want employers to use it as an opportunity to create opportunities for young people. But we also want entrepreneurs to, or SMMEs to use it as an opportunity for them to see what are the other opportunities that exist out there. Okay, so that's one of the things that we're looking at. As they said, I'm not going to deal with everything else. For us, all the issues that you have raised, access to market, funding, your sustainability of your businesses, your issues of township economy, are very close to us. But we just got this mandate. Let's therefore work together. And you say to us, you know, we are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere there, and you want us to be there to then work with you in terms of the training that you want to do. And I think with Tabiso, by the way, Tabiso is my former colleague. We used to work together somewhere, yeah. So what Tabiso has indicated is that the scope of the WNR system is such a wide scope. One, it provides great opportunities. On the other hand, it provides challenges in terms of who can we deal with. So for example, if you're talking about manufacturing and agro-processing, actually food BEFCITA. Okay. But where is retail going? So big companies were telling me that retail is changing. In actual fact, we can't necessarily chase you away when we are saying you are in the agro-processing space, because at the end of the day you want to go and sell. You want to sell. That's the whole idea. Okay. So funerals, do we play a role? It's services, but we do because we sell funeral insurance and coffins. Okay. Can you see where we are as a SETA? If you go to the money market at, what do you call this thing, at ShopRite, what do you buy? You can buy a plane ticket. You can buy a ticket for an event. You can transfer money. There's fintech. So retail is changing. There are great opportunities, for example, of us playing a role in the, how much money are we spending on SASA in South Africa? How much? Billions of rands. Why are we not playing in that space? As small businesses in our own area, and ensure that those gogos don't travel kilometers, and we create opportunities in those particular areas and where we are. So what I'm saying is that there are just great opportunities, and then let's look at those opportunities. And I like the fact that a lot of you are saying let's partner, whether you are a training institution, whether you are a lobby organization. Abo Kuku, for example, one of the things that they learn in Kenya is the fact that how can they lobby? How can they change the ecosystem? Because we are not going to be able to do it as a SETA. The only thing that we can do is to provide you with that access. Yeah, so we that's where we are as a SETA. So we really are grateful for this opportunity, and I think for me it was really an eye-opener, and I've learned a lot, and I think we've taken a lot. We've got 4 programs in terms of what we call SMME development, and I can see us adding another one, which is probably enterprise supplier development in that area. By the way, we've learned, someone was telling us about SMME and entrepreneurship. We've learned that long time ago, that there is a difference between the SMMEs, the informal environment, the entrepreneurs, and even community-based organizations. You know, someone was saying, you know, don't take this badly. He says, we can't, the way that we are not community-based, we can't even organize ourselves as organized crime. We go out and sing stories about ourselves of what we've done together. He says, go and look at how the Italian mafias have done it. He says they were organized. So we also need to organize ourselves. I'm not encouraging that let's go to and be gangsters. But let's organize ourselves in community organizations and come up with programs that are related to retail. You don't have to work alone. So we also support community-based organizations. But I think we want to add, from what I'm hearing, enterprise supplier development. But also what we've also learned today is the fact that what are the skills that we are looking for? Because it's our job, by the way, through our sector skills plan. Although a blockman resides with, what do you call this thing, food birth SETA, but it's a skill that is required in our side. Supply chain, it's becoming a huge issue. You guys have got, we've got what we call community organizations, community colleges, and we've got TVET colleges. Just to give you an example, in Sekhukhune, in Limpopo, we invested 143 million rands on the skills center, and that skills center has got, you can do poultry, you can do cattle, whatever. When we spoke to the principal, we said, work with communities. Work with because we can't give money. For example, you're talking about the retail academy. We can't give money for a retail academy to a private institution. So start working with the TVET colleges. They're next to you. They are there. And And if you then participate in our processes of this sector skills plan, we will know exactly what sort of skills you are looking for, and we are willing to fund those TVET colleges. So don't go far. You've got the TVET colleges there in your own communities. And those TVET colleges that you guys look down upon, because we all want to take our young people to universities. Isn't it? We all want to take our young people to universities rather than using these structures in our colleges in order to build skills. And they've got a mandate of not only just doing ministerial programs, they also have got a mandate to do programs that are going to benefit communities. So challenge them and say the SETA is there. How can we then all work together? The previous minister used to say the SETA is the matchmaker. So our job is to matchmake. So come to us with programs and say to us, you want this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Tshwane, you've got Tshwane North or whatever college that is next to you. How can we then work together? And you would see if we then start working together what we can build. You know. So the last issue was the one on QCT, on QCTO. So number one, we have supported SDPs, which we call Skills Development Providers. So we've got about 45 that we've supported, and we've took them in a period of 3 years, because we realized that a lot of our training providers, our black ones in particular, don't get an opportunity with the white employers. Let's put it out there. With the white employers out there, give them an opportunity. But we then are training them, and we're trying to link them up with some of the white employers. We took them through the process until they get to where they're supposed to go to. And obviously the SETA is no longer accrediting anyone, because we are now moving into occupational qualifications. So everything therefore needs to go to the QCTO. Okay. So that's where we are. But you've got a period of 2 years from now and now, because the minister has extended the period because the sector is not ready. Because the reason why I'm sharing this, it's important because training providers are very, very important in order for us to be able to do what we want to do as a city. Okay, so that's where we then are as an organization. What else that I left out? No, nothing else except just to say thank you, and thank you very much for. Someone spoke about the graduate programs. We need to start thinking about how the SMMEs participate in our graduate programs. You take the very young people that are loitering around in the street, and you make applications through to us, and you'll be surprised what they can do for you. So just yesterday, we were somewhere in Zastron. We realized and a small SMME is taking young people that have got business skills. And the young people were telling us that we must get out of the way, they must take over. They've got so many ideas that they can make your business even grow more in terms of your digital marketing. They say they teach us how to copy and paste. We don't understand this whole thing. So take young people through those programs, and we will fund them. In fact, we're struggling with getting young people get young people to get an opportunity to be exposed in terms of the. We always like, I don't know, in terms of the numbers. Young people to be given an opportunity. You take a young person for a period of 12 months. You give them exposure. You are running a small business. You can't be everything. So you can get a young person and train them. Train them on a whole range of things so that when you are not around, they assist you. For a period of 12 months, you've given them an opportunity for workplace experience, but you've also benefited because we pay a stipend. And obviously the story of the stipend is something that you need to manage. And also the fact that they come to work on time and they leave on time. That on Sunday they are at work. Okay. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of work, but we can then put that opportunity on. So thank you very much, and really the conversation was quite heartwarming, and I will not be able to respond to everything, but Martha has been writing everything down, and we will be able to respond through our programs that we put in place. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think there is definitely, you almost stood up. No, you can stand. I'm kidding. And that, I guess, consolidates our work for today. But I think, earlier on I sort of alluded to a report that will be sent out. In actual fact, because Martha's got laser fast fingers, she sort of consolidated all the viewpoints that were being shared into this beautiful synopsis, and I'll sort of read it out as the summary and closure, then we're done. And I mean, so I think on the first one, collectively, some of the things that came out, the first one was definitely access to market program, including agriculture, processing and farming, and a range of other sectors that will be covered under here. Then the second one was youth. This is a consolidation, by the way, so if you're hearing something you raised that wasn't mentioned, just know that it's consolidated inside here. Yes, sir.
A lot of you here have got businesses, and how you can also access some of our opportunities is that we've got offices one in Hillcrest, next to the public protector. So if you are looking for the public protector, our office is next to there. And then one is in Parktown North. It's our provincial office. So what SMMEs can do, because we'll be opening a window for non-pivotal programs soon, you need to just go and register yourself as and get what we call an N number. So N number means a non-levy paying company, because we've got programs for levy paying companies and we've got programs for non-levy paying companies. So if you then want to participate into our programs, you can then get that and then make an application when we open that particular window.
Okay. Oh, wow. Invaluable information. The second one was youth entrepreneurship focus on digital. The third point was on retail value chain support and owning the value chain, raised by the back there. The fourth one was on entrepreneurship incubation. And the fifth was on bringing big business along for the journey to engage with small business and outlining solutions they seek and opportunities. The second last one was retail academy with full business support on various aspects of running a retail business. And then the last one was collaborating to create awareness of the WRCTA programs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our business for today. Thank you so much for joining the CEO's SMME engagement. Have a beautiful day further. God bless.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. It's lunch. You've been paid, I hope. But if they settle there.